waiting with bated breath for two of my mates to join in. Yet they're yet to join, but so far it just looks like slightly slower pitch, slightly a sticky wicket, if that's the best way to call it. There seems to be some bit of dew, but so far it has not aided LSG yet, and they're 4 wickets down. Probably the biggest of them has been Nicholas Pooran, whose form has been really questionable in the last few years, and he's translated that in the IPL. In the meanwhile, Anukul Roy gets one to go straight in, and he picks up his first wicket. So KKR are all over LSG right now. Absolutely struggling are LSG to try and reach the target. Roman Powell did say in the middle of the innings, when after his innings, that it was very tough wicket to play on, slightly holding, and that is being on show so far. So KKR are doing a very good job right now, and that 180 is looking really far out. I just want to give an introduction to the channel, as I've been told by my producer, who's yet to join in. We are basically three really close friends who talk about cricket behind the scenes, but we imagine that we can bring some of it to YouTube, and we've been doing YouTube for a while. So maybe if some of you can who know us from the Boomer 11 days find us, then maybe you might remember that we've had a glorious 2 year span, and then after that 2 years break, and now we are back. Somewhat like my favorite team, which is Chennai Super Kings, but well, I really hope that this journey continues from where we left off, or at least we can pick up from where we left off. I'm just waiting for two of my friends to join in, which is Abel and Sandipani. Sandipani, his favorite team is playing right now, so he's taking a little bit of time. Maybe once he realizes that his team is finally going to win it, he might just grace us with his presence. The new batter in is the new batter is in for LSG at this point in time. Right now, we need 78 of 42 balls to win. And Mukul Chaudhary has come in. At the end of the over right now, it is 78 is required and 42 balls. It would seem easy on any other day, but today it's just been slightly difficult to really feel at this point in time that LSG are going to win this. They have 5 wickets in hand, but if you look at the batters that are to come in, not much of a talent left. We've got Avesh Khan, Mohammad Shami, Digvish Singh Rathi, and Ayush Badoni. But from as far as I know, they are yet to get in. They have gotten in Ayush Badoni as their impact sub. So they're out of impact subs as well. This is a last batter at this point in time. Well, Navdeep Saini has come in first ball. He's hit him before Badoni. 74 needed of 41. Over the top, he just got the width, and Navdeep Saini has not been in good form either. Like, if you think about it, he's been in and around IPL for a long time. He's been a journeyman, traveling franchises after franchisee, but it's not been an easy IPL career for Navdeep Saini either. But Badoni is playing a very good hand here, and if there's someone who can win them this match for LSG, has to be Badoni. Slower delivery this time. It's creamed through the offside. Another boundary, back-to-back boundaries, and maybe this is the over that LSG needed. Two regular, two really good shots. This one straight from the textbook. Just waiting for Sandipani to come in. Probably these two boundaries will get him to join. It's a brilliant shot though, right in the gap, and all of a sudden, now this is going to be the issue if you really think about it for Ajinkya Rahane. Is if you look at the bowler, Sunil Narayan has got one very important over. He's not gotten a wicket, and maybe Ayush Badoni's wicket is what can help Ajinkya Rahane's case. On the other hand, first, After that, though, it's been slightly difficult. Another very good delivery. So good comeback by Navdeep Saini. Just stays a little low if you think about it. For then this has been the issue with this pitch, right? It's been the kind of Eden Gardens that you remember from a long time ago, but just one dot. Two back-to-back boundaries. This time he's cut it away. It's going away towards the boundary, but there's a fielder there. Karthik Tyagi has been a live wire on the field, but that's a horrible throw. Really bad throw. It went right to the middle of the pitch. Wicket keeper and the bowler was confused. It's a shot that he normally plays. Bad fielding there from Vaibhav Arora. Long, tall, fast bowler. Very difficult to get down, I suppose, on one knee and stop that, but still required. Practice pitches did not help. 68 required of 38. Two back-to-back dot deliveries. So after those 8 runs, Navdeep Saini has made a good comeback here. Short delivery, it's given him bit again, and another beautiful shot. Just have to check this has gone for the boundary or not. It's been called a 4. So this has been a very topsy-turvy over. It's been the over of extremes, you would have to say, because only boundary or dot. That has been the scenario in this over. But 12 runs have come off this over. If you look at the required run rate right now, it is 10.38. So still LSG are breathing there, alive and kicking. Slightly in, you would have to say, but bad ball from Navdeep Saini. It was an absolute invitation to smash him for another boundary. And that's been the issue. Like, if you look at the field, it looks like the field is set up for Navdeep Saini to ball on at the wickets, but he's balled 3 deliveries that he's given away has been completely allowing Badoni to play on the offside. This time, pull shot, and there's Rinku Singh there. So just a single. He'll end the over with a single. End of the over, 119 for 5 in 14 overs, 63 to win of 6 overs. Still waiting for Sandibani to show up. Hopefully Abel, who's hearing me, shows up as well, but unfortunately thus far, it's me on my own, just like Ayush Badoni, I guess. Because if you look at it after this, there's not much batting left, like I mentioned earlier. There's only Maniraman Siddharth who can bat somewhat, Avesh Khan who can finish games if only 1 run is required of 1 ball, and Mohammad Shami who can probably throw his bat around a little bit, but Anukul Roy is back in the attack. So spin it is for KKR. Spin to win has been KKR's motto. If you look at the great KKR teams of the old, they've always had good spin duos. Varun Chakravarti is not playing in this match. Anukul Roy instead has been bought in. We still don't know if Varun Chakravarti is injured or maybe it's just because he's been dropped. 2 back-to-back boundaries. 2 back-to-back dot balls. This is the thing that he does, doesn't he, Anukul Roy? He's able to bring the ball straight on. He had a phenomenal Syed Mushtaq Ali trophy. If you think about it, one of the pillars for Jharkhand. Full toss served on a platter, and Ayush Badoni says thank you very much. 6 more. So 2 dots, 2 really good deliveries, and an absolute beamer from Ayush Badoni from Anukul Roy. So all the appreciation that I suppose we were giving him has been put to waste. His 7th IPL 50 for Ayush Badoni of 33 deliveries. This lad can actually finish games. He's got the temperament to finish games, and today he has to. But yeah, he still knows, no, not much of a celebration. He still knows that the game is on. There's a long way to go for him. And it has to be him. It really has to be him. We've yet to see much of Mukul Chaudhary on the non-striker end. He's only played 1 delivery thus far. Playing in his first IPL match. At least the first IPL match I've seen him in. This time he's tried to play it over the top and straight into the hands of Rinku Singh. So KKR break this partnership. Well, I don't know if you can call it a partnership because Mukul Chaudhary has not scored a single run, but Badoni has absolutely chipped it into the hands of Rinku Singh, and Rinku Singh doesn't drop that many. Seems like he just slowed the ball up, one-handed. That shot was. Doesn't seem like he was expecting the ball to be that slow. And Rinku Singh, the tiny dynamite, doesn't make any mistake. Boy, is Ankush Raghuvanshi and Ajinkya Rahane pumped because this is the wicket. This is the one wicket that they required, and Mohammad Shami is now been sent in. So it's not the finisher Avesh Khan. It is Mohammad Shami, and it is time. It's time out. That means for the next 150 seconds, you can have. They will be deciding what to do, and I suppose in many ways you would have to say that this does look very bleak for LSG at this point in time. Well, at this point in time, I suppose we can delve back into our channel. It's called the Crick Intellect, and the idea is we've got three facets to this game. Of course, where we, just as I mentioned, we'll speak like how friends usually speak cricket. Behind the scenes, we'll try and bring some of that edge onto this channel. Aside from that, we are really blessed to have an analytical mind like Sandipani, who's obviously great with the numbers. And on the other hand, I don't know how much I add to it, but obviously the idea is that we're going to make a holistic approach to this, to IPL and to cricket. Ensure that we give you something that maybe broadcasters don't, because there's certain PR things that they have to do. But for us, purely cricket is what we're going to talk about. Of course, we have our own teams that we like, and obviously when they lose, you will see certain edge for us. Obviously today, not nothing much on for us at least. For me at least, I'm sorry, but Sandipani definitely is watching with bated breath. Huge KKR fan, and probably after the last three matches, you would have to say probably obviously the last match, rain came to save KKR, and I think today KKR have finally gotten a chance to get their first win on the board. Like I mentioned already, this is obviously our first live. A few things took us a little longer, but obviously from tomorrow onwards, hopefully, we will be having a full-fledged live where you'll be able to see the exact brand that we're trying to bring in with this channel. The idea is to ensure that we give people a platform where you can, express yourself however you would like. There's no filter, and there will be no filter certainly with us as well, and you can definitely express your opinions and your thinking behind most of the teams. I mean, obviously for me, at this point in time, you'd have to say that probably we are a lot better to have two of my other friends as well. But for now, Mohammad Shami has walked in, and very small, very you have to say not much long a batting lineup is LSG's, with an impact player rule. To have only batting till number 6 has to be kind of questionable, isn't it? Because you would have to hope that at least you've got batters till number 8 for you, people who can bat to a large extent. But I guess in many ways, because we're playing Digvish Singh Rathi as well today, a lot of bowling options if you really think about it, including maybe Ayush Badoni and Aiden Markram. They had somewhere close to, uh, you would have to say, somewhere close to 7 to 8 bowling options, which has really restricted their batting. Mitchell Marsh, Aiden Markram, Rishabh Pant, Ayush Badoni, Nicholas Puran, Abdul Samad, and Mukul Chaudhary. That's it. Now, Mukul Chaudhary thus far hasn't really shown much about what he can do. He's a wicketkeeper batter, and he's played IPL before. Actually, I mean, he's not played. He's played a match before, obviously, but yet to put an impact at this point in time. Is a Rajasthan wicketkeeper from Rajasthan. But you have to really imagine here that just waiting for Sandivani to be given. Um, I think he's asked for. We're gonna have to wait slightly more. But as a CSK fan, really happy to see Chennai Super Kings in number 2 position in Fair Play Award. Hopefully this year, if we win nothing, we'll win the Fair Play Award. Like I spoke, Mukul Chaudhary. Now, what can he do? Obviously, a lot of pressure on the youngster, the wicketkeeper batter from Rajasthan. He does seem to have some kind of reputation for being a six hitter. Yet to see one in this match. It's been 2 years since he's made his debut. This Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, 57 average, but a 198 strike rate, and all of that will be required against the wiles of Sunil Narayan. Oh, what a ball! What a beautiful delivery that was. Just pitching outside off stump, went completely away from what Mukul Chaudhary expected. An absolute beauty there. And Sunil Narayan, you have to say, some of the best players again, spin, have struggled against Sunil Narayan. Mukul Chaudhary having baptism by fire at this point in time. Ajinkya Rahane is still keeping a slip. Appeal from Rahane, but Sunil Narayan obviously as nonchalant as ever. 3 back-to-back dot balls. I mean, Chaudhary has played 5 deliveries. And he's played 4 of them have been dots. No interest from Ajinkya Rahane, obviously, when it comes to reviewing. But 127 for 6. Obviously, the idea is to get a very good net run rate boost. If you look at the field, completely leg side based. And one of these shots finally ends up at fine leg, just a single. There's a fine leg, there's a square leg, and then they've got mid on and my bad, long on and deep mid wicket. That is the field. Mohammad Shami, he can tonk a few. If you look at most dot balls this season has been Sunil Narayan and Anukul Roy in this match thus far. So Sunil Narayan has had a very, very good day. And this is probably the oxymoron of KKR is the fact that their ballers are great when it comes to spinning tracks and their batters may be slightly better when it comes to flatter pitches. But Narayan has been amazing today. Really goes to say how much of a confidence building exercise it would have been if Varun Chakravarti had played today. Because he's struggled this season thus far. He struggled in the World Cup as well in the second half of it. This time, Mohammad Shami is connected, but not enough. So another one down. 7th wicket is done, and that is it for Mohammad Shami. So he stays there for just 3 deliveries, and he's gone for single. So now it just seems like this match might not last longer, and Sandipani might have to just wait. I think that's a great question, Shinwari. Me and Abel obviously are advocates. Both of us sometimes make our trips outside India as well. We are. Nah. We are not full time sitting at home. This is right after work. We have some free time, so we thought, why not just make a video? And I suppose you're sitting at home as well, which means you get to watch us. I hope you're not watching us at work. At least that's what I hope. But 54 to win of 24 deliveries. Currently, I am watching IPL from outside India for now, but that's the thing about Indians. I suppose you can keep us out of the country, but you can't keep cricket out of us, even if you're in a non-cricketing country. But you have to say this has been a very dull affair. I mean, it just felt like it was edging towards another thriller. But unfortunately now, Avesh Khan, 54, maybe too much for him to chase down. 53 runs, if someone can score, maybe he can score 1 run of the last ball. I'm sure our friend Abel, if he's watching, you would have to say that. I have to say that this does seem like an interview at this point in time. Shinwari, if you have maybe some questions about cricket, we would love to do that for sure. Maybe someday we'll have a Q&A with regards to our whereabouts. I believe it's much better that we focus on cricket because that's what we're here to talk about. But yeah, I mean, my friend is also outside India at this point in time, obviously not revealing addresses if that's what you want. But 16.2 overs have been completed already. 54 to win of 21 deliveries. It's pretty much game, set, and match at this point in time. 54 of 22 deliveries. But Mukul Chaudhary, it's really an opportunity for him to showcase his talent on this grand stage. Probably too much on his plate when it comes to too much on his plate, I suppose, when it comes to chasing this down. This time he's connected it very well, and his first boundary. No, I guess not. Oh, the ball just rolls away into the fence. Full diving effort from Ramandeep, but unfortunately, the momentum of the ball just carries it away. So first signs that this lad can connect the ball, but maybe it's a little too late, but we're yet to see. It's not like the game is completely out of LSG's hands. I don't really understand the question. Are you in? I am not going to answer these questions. Like I said, we're here to talk about cricket. This time, helicopter shot. That is traveled all right. Another six. 44 now. This is a good shot. This is some shot actually. Another wicketkeeper batter playing this shot. Just flick of his wrists. It is a proper helicopter shot. Really good batting at this point in time. 83 meters long that shot. 44 to win now of 20 deliveries. Can Mukul Chaudhary pull off a rabbit out of his hat? Field has been changed. Fine leg comes in, and so does cover point. So that means the four fielders outside now is backward point and cover point and long off and square leg and very square. You would have to say somewhat deep, somewhat extra mid wicket. Full toss. It is going exactly in that position, but lands right in front of Norman Powell. How hard is that? I don't know. I think the pitch is pretty soft today. It seems like it is slightly, turning. But yeah, I don't think it's pretty hard, the pitch today. Why can't I say which country? I don't know, bro. Why should I say which country is my question. I look pretty Indian, I guess. But I don't really know why you're so interested in my personal life. Thank you so much for your interest in my personal life. Maybe if you're thinking of connecting with me, you can definitely connect with me on LinkedIn if you aren't blocked already. If you're blocked, then I suppose there's no point of you trying to connect. It just definitely shows my non-interest. But another very good delivery this time, a good comeback by Vaibhav Arora. Still waiting for Sandibani to come in. But a good over, exciting over, you would have to say, from Mukul Chaudhary. Some good shots, especially that helicopter shot was a really good shot, even though it was not exactly you would have to say a half volley, but he was still able to get underneath it, and that is the kind of talent that LSG saw in him. He is their last batter standing. And Kartik Tyagi, another comeback king this season. Really heartbreaking to see him ball all this well for KKR when he was playing for CSK last season, and we did not use him at all in a season plagued with pace bowling issues. But this match, Ajinkya Rahane has had the highest strike rate of 171 for batters who've played more than 10 deliveries. So I really feel like Sandibani would be really upset. Oh, what a shot! This is, I don't know how to describe this, a wide delivery, and he's played some kind of aerial helicopter shot. Digvesh Rathi is absolutely stunned, but we did speak about this lad, that Mukul Chaudhary, a wicketkeeper batter from Rajasthan, has gotten a very good, has gotten a reputation for being able to hit long boundaries. This was sent very wide by Kartik Tyagi, trying to push him away because the last two deliveries he had balled it, that he hit it for a boundary was on the legs. So maybe the idea was to take the ball away from him, but Mukul Chaudhary has shown that he can hit those deliveries too. I think he says, come on, it's basic for the viewers to know who they are watching. Well, my name is Jaren. That's all I suppose you need to know at this point in time. Slowly, as you continue on this journey, Shinwari, you would realize about us and our ideas, and I think which country we are from doesn't matter. But I'm wearing Argentina jersey today, so for today I'm from Argentina, I guess. I'm in Argentina right now, is what I can tell you. Maybe tomorrow, if I'm wearing some other country's jersey, maybe you can guess accordingly. But just like I said, I think it's really not pertinent to this content as such. Maybe someday when we talk about geopolitics, if we ever do, maybe then in that sense. I do watch football actually. I really do love watching football. Not as much as cricket. Cricket is really my priority. Football is like my football is the second sport that I watch, and yeah, I'm a huge Argentina fan, more like a Messi fan. But aside from maybe Messi and Argentina, I don't really have a football team that I support, but I do like the sport a lot, and I play it pretty average, or maybe worse than average. But again, coming back to the match, 145 for 7 is LSG. Mukul Chaudhary, everything lies on him. Avesh Khan is taking his singles as he is famous for. All Mukul Chaudhary needs to do is score maybe somewhat 36 runs more, and Avesh Khan can finish the last ball. Can finish if one run is required of one ball. That is his strength. He can then whip out his helmet and show the world what a good finisher he is. Full toss, and Mukul Chaudhary will absolutely accept this gift from Kartik Tyagi. He was looking for the Yorker. That is the biggest issue when you're bowling a Yorker. That is the caveat, really. You miss by an inch and the ball can travel, and this lad is really showcasing that he can really hit some shots. So that is a very good shot. Really well played. Of course, 92 meters. That is gone long into the stands today. Kartik Tyagi, Ajinkya Rahane and Kartik Tyagi having a discussion. I suppose interesting to see, will Kartik Tyagi have the guts to be able to bowl another Yorker? Like we spoke about it, Yorkers are not obviously an easy delivery to ball. It is almost guaranteed. We don't know if Mukul Chaudhary can play a lap shot or not. But for the first time, we can see some worry in KKR dugout at this point in time. A good shot there, just a single. He knows it's just the penultimate ball of the over. Doesn't really need to try to play a bigger shot. He's gotten enough runs from this over. Take it deep, maybe, just like another wicketkeeper batter that I really enjoy watching. Unfortunately, he is injured. If you look at the bowling now, you've got Kartik Tyagi, who's got one more over, so most likely he's going to bowl the last over. But options are Vaibhav Arora, Cam Green, who's only bowled one over, and Navdeep Saini. I suppose it'll be Vaibhav Arora because he's gone for 25 runs in his 3 overs and taken 2 wickets. And I think Kartik Tyagi will bowl the last over. Still remains to be seen. 2 overs to go. Abish Khan on strike. Now this has to be a free hit ball. 3 wickets in hand, last ball of the penultimate over, or rather not the penultimate over, but of the 18th over. He swings, but no connection whatsoever. Maybe not as bad that he's not lost a wicket, at the same time not scored a run, but at least he's not lost a wicket, which means 3 wickets still. Mukul Chaudhary will be the one that everyone will be keeping their eyes on, and Vaibhav Arora has to be. Vaibhav Arora has to be the bowler who will bowl. Had a very good over in the last before this. But Mukul Chaudhary did hit him for a 6 and a boundary. So it's going to be a close finish. This match still has some life left in it. At a point in time, it just felt like LSG were completely out of gas. But Mukul Chaudhary, this young man, has really lit a fire in LSG dugout. He's striking at 152. Can he do it? Cam Green is bowling this over. So interesting call. First ball, he skied it. I think it was a slower delivery, and it lands right in the middle of Ajinkya Rahane and Rinku Singh. And if you can manage to hit the ball between Ajinkya Rahane and Rinku Singh, then that means you have really placed the ball. But Mukul Chaudhary has not taken a single here. not taken a single here. We saw it yesterday with David Miller not deciding to not take a single with Kuldeep Yadav on the non-striker's end, and he had to pay for it dearly, losing the match by 1 run. But with 12 balls to remain, I think Mukul Chaudhary will back himself. Another, this time I think is slightly quicker. Hits him on the shoulder. Good bowling this by Cam Green. Cam Green wasn't bowling this till this match. Took a wicket in the second ball, but then Nicholas Pooran took him to the cleaners. And after that, he has come back into ball now. It's been probably 12 overs since he has bowled 30 to win of 10 deliveries. What a game though this has been from Mukul Chaudhary. Not an easy thing to do as a young player playing his first IPL season to be able to finish purely, completely leg side field. This is just one fielder on the offside, which is point. Short ball again, slow delivery. Is there a fielder there? No, he found the gap. He has found the gap. Boundary. Another boundary. 24. It's a 6. It's a flat 6. For a second, I really thought it has gone to the fence, but flat 6 that is. Was a slower delivery. One too many slower deliveries, you would have to say, from Cam Green. Set up this time to be able to play the shot. But very, very beautifully found that gap. Just 62 meters, not much long boundaries here in Eden Gardens. Now change in field. The fine leg has gone out. There's a long off, and I think that's also indicated a change in plan, which executed well by Cam Green. Bowling outside the off stump, close to the wide line. Asking Mukul Chaudhary to drag it to leg side. 24 to win of 8. 1-6, great, but he needs to smash at least 10 more runs in this over. Maybe at least get it down below 20. 24 to win of 8. Interesting now. What does Cam Green do? Does he ball it at the stumps? Does he continue to ball wide? He skied this, but it'll go to the fence because fine leg was inside the circle. So another boundary for Mukul Chaudhary. A chancy innings for sure, but a very important innings here for LSG. 20 to win of 7. Lucky there, really lucky there. It's also very fine. So maybe even if the fine leg was behind the circle, I don't know how much chance he had to get there. Last ball, what does he do? Take a single, or does he go for a biggie and hope that Avesh Khan can take a single on the first ball? Here we go. Cam Green, last ball. Slower delivery. He's got it from the middle of his bat. It's 6 more. It's 6 more. 14 to win of 7. Very difficult choice he had. Should he have taken a single? He decided not to. Got the ball right where he wanted, and Cam Green has disappointed KKR fans again. The question really is, should Vaibhav Arora have been given the ball and not Cam Green, who hadn't balled for the last 10 overs, as Ajinkya Rahane pulled off a captaincy blunder class at this stage. 79 meters. Balled a slower delivery. Not a good delivery at all, because he's been playing off the on the leg side really well throughout the day, and the only ball that he missed in this over was the one that he balled outside off stump. Oh, Vaibhav Arora is going to ball the last over. So Karthik Tyagi is the one who was not trusted, but 14 to win of 6. Key thing for KKR is that Ajinkya Rahane is on the other side. My bad. Rather, Avesh Khan is on the striker's end, which means if Vaibhav Arora can ensure that Avesh Khan, he's played 2 balls, not scored a run, can continue to do that, then maybe Mukul Chaudhary is not a threat at all. Oh, that is very interesting. Now, at this point in time, KKR have been fined because of slow over rate penalty, which means one fielder has to come in, and that also means no fielder on the offside. Square leg, deep mid wicket, long on and long off. So no fielder on the offside, just one fielder down the ground, but he's able to take a single straight away. Again, questionable captaincy. Should he have brought few more fielders inside instead of opening the leg side completely? Easier said than done, I guess, because he's sitting here. It's much easier to think like that, but completely free leg side. And Avish Khan just tucks it away. So 13 to win of 5. Mukul Chaudhary, 42 of 22. What an innings. Remember, first 6 deliveries, they just got single run. And the next 16 deliveries, he scored 41 runs. So this has been some level of batting from this young chap from Rajasthan. Nervous, nervousness in both the camps, you would have to say. Vaibhav Arora, what does he do? Mukul Chaudhary on strike, has to bowl away from the body. Doesn't! And he's cleared the fence. Six more. Six more. I can feel you, Sandipani, if you're watching. I think you're on the backstage. If you're watching, I really do feel for you. We did just speak about this, that he's been hitting sixes on the leg side, back to back. Just one shot that he played on the offside, and you've yet again balled a hit me delivery, and he easily hits it in the quadrant behind those stumps on the leg side, 66-meter shot. And well, not surprised that one CSK fan is happy for the misery of KKR. 7 to win of 4. Field, do you have any changes on the field? What is the discussion happening between Ajinkya Rahane and Vaibhav Arora? It does seem like there's a slight bit of change in field. Yet to see what the final field is going to be. Oh, I think mid-off is, rather long off is becoming mid-off, or no, he's been sent back. He has been sent back, and deep and long on has been bought in to become mid-on, and point is going back, backward point, deep point now, and long on and mid-wicket. Fine leg is in the circle, third man is in the circle. What will Vaibhav Arora do? Where do you ball? I think this is it seems like the decision is to ball away from the stumps into the wicket. Slower ball into the wicket away from stumps. Extra cover is also in place. Still discussion going on. And I think a personnel change. Anukul Roy, I think, is gone off. Sandipani is back. Sandipani, how does it feel? You think Ajinkya Rahane has made an absolute blunder by giving Cam Green, who did not bowl for 10 overs, mind you, did not bowl for 10 overs. He was bowling the penultimate over, the most important over of this match. Best ball of this over.
Yeah, giving the ball to Cameron Green on the penultimate over just goes to show that there is absolute zero confidence that they have in a player like Kartik Tyagi. So I don't understand what is the composition that KKR team is going with. I think we are more or less playing with our C team. This team would probably not be would not even get to play for India C or India D. The premium fast bowlers that are bowling for KKR right now.
India D is full of CSK players. I think I have no rights, obviously, to have fun about the fact you have at least 1 point on board. He goes for a very risky shot. Mukul Chaudhary. I wouldn't blame him. I really wouldn't blame him. He knew there's a wide Yorker coming in, but maybe not the right shot to play. Because if you really think, Sandipani, the still cover region is empty. There is no fielder on cover. It's only point and backward point. He could have still tried to play it over the top. And obviously, everyone's favorite owner. I'll be very honest, Sandipani, I'm supporting you guys because I really hate watch LSG. Not because I don't like LSG as a team. I just don't, I just like some people being upset sometimes.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, absolutely. I think they're appropriately placed in the fair play points table right now, but we'll come back to that.
Penultimate delivery. I really wanted. There's a shot. This is a shot I was asking for because cover point is completely empty. It's not a bad delivery, mind you. Vaibhav Arora did everything he had to, but Mukul Chaudhary, what an innings! And now if Avish Khan is on strike, Sandipani, they can win it because the red team 1 to win of 1. I mean, not a red team, but a team that, a team that only has one run to defend in one ball, I think Avesh Khan removing his helmet is a very good possibility. But do you think super over? Would love to have a super over for you to stay a little longer.
I don't know what to say if you can't defend 30 of 10 deliveries with Mukul Chaudhary, the
I
same
mean,
guy who was
second
struggling.
IPL match. Third IPL match.
Yeah, third IPL match, and in the last game itself, he was struggling to get bat on ball. He was, I
Correct.
think, he scored some 2 runs. He was not out at the other end, but he scored some 2 runs of
Oh yeah, I
six
think
deliveries.
he's six balls. He had scored one run. So now he's scored
Yeah,
53 runs in 20 deliveries. And I think really what KKR has done wrong is he loves to hit on the leg side, and you've completely kept balling him on the leg side, except for that one ball which he hit Cameron Green over long off, which was on the off side. Everything has been on the leg side. And now what you've done is
absolutely.
obviously you have to set up this field because now you have only two fielders outside. The other question I really have: should Avesh Khan have had this field in the first ball of the over? Because you knew he was going to try to tuck the ball in, and you left the real estate on the leg side, and he could just tuck the ball in, and Mukesh Chaudhary has got to play five of the six deliveries.
Yeah, they could have gone with that, but I don't think it would have mattered because they would have run anyway, and we have the helmet off from
Avesh
Avesh
Khan
Khan, and
does
once
it
again the
again.
celebration.
Avesh Khan does it again. It had to be Avesh Khan. He removed his helmet, kept it in his hand because he knew throwing it on the pitch is not the right thing to do, but he will still celebrate. Although this time Sandimani scored a single run. Last time he scored zero of one. Today he scored one of three. Obviously, we'll have a long discussion as to why KKR absolutely bottled this. I really don't think that 180 should have been chased on by LSG on this pitch. It was a very hard pitch to chase this on. But kudos. Let's talk about the positives. What an innings by Mukesh Chaudhary. What an innings. I mean, under pressure, third match in the IPL, a youngster coming in from Rajasthan, and he's really pulled it out of the jaws of defeat for LSG.
Absolutely, we. I mean, yeah, 30 needed of the last 10 deliveries, and you have Avesh Khan facing two of those deliveries. This should have been impossible from the get go. And
Yeah,
I think a lot to talk about from a captaincy standpoint, the selection of bowlers. I mean, the team that we have right now, the bowling department, we can't really expect much from them. And Dwayne Bravo being the bowling mentor, or so I think he spoke about it in the interview. He was saying that he was more looking more into the bowling. He was very excited with the prospects that this KKR team has, and I think yeah, the spy from CSK doing it again. But you won't
it's like what
you can't,
me.
you can't just blame the bowling department entirely
I'll be
because
very honest.
98
I
for
was
one.
just talking about CSK. I'll be very honest. I think couple of times that I visited Bangalore, I've been dead scared to wear my CSK jersey. I'm like, I know I'm gonna get trolled. So that's why I'm saying I don't really have. I mean, I shouldn't probably throw stones when my house is only made of glass. But KKR has been really horrible. I suppose in terms of like we'll talk about KKR now. We'll go into depth, obviously. Let's start with Ajinkya Rahane, and this is I think the peak of your frustration has been Ajinkya Rahane. I think to be very frank, I think Ajinkya Rahane was supposed to be a stopgap measure. I think Venkatesh Iyer was your project for captaincy, but then RCB took him and has kept him on the bench. Now, if would you what I mean, how much would you rate? Let's start there, right? How much would you rate Ajinkya Rahane's captaincy out of 10 in the last four matches? Considering last match also you were on the back foot when the rain came in.
Yeah, I think he would get a solid two. He would fail quite clearly, but the fact that I mean, we can't really blame Ajinkya Rahane as well. He's doing his job with the bat, even though I understand the criticism and the hate that he's receiving. But he was not out in the last game. He did get a good 70. He did play a good 70-run knock in the first one. Uh, did get us off to a good start today as well. But I
Yeah.
think the key problem for KKR, apart from the captaincy, has been the lack of depth in their bowling unit and the middle order. I think they did a lot of things right today, getting in Robman Powell in for blessing Muzarabani because
Yeah.
I mean they did get Robman Powell in the last game itself,
I
but it
think
was a
today
change made
Robin
out
Powell
of
did come in
necessity.
for Muzramani because I mean, ideally, because Cam Green is balling, you expected Cam Green to give you 4 overs or at least 2 to 3 overs. I suppose that's why Blessing Musrabani went out and Robin Powell came in.
Yes, that too, and also I think they haven't used Ramandeep at all in the game. So Ramandeep could have given us 1 or 2 overs with the ball. I
On this
don't
pitch,
rate him
yeah.
very highly. I don't rate him highly at all with the bat, because whatever I've seen of him in the nets, I think he's very good while batting at the nets. But when it comes to the actual game, his performances are very questionable. But
Yeah.
against this team, I think Lucknow Super Giants are the worst team uh, in
Oh,
this year's
thank you.
IPL.
Thank you.
And to lose
Feels
against
very
them,
good.
and I'm not just talking from a complete team standpoint. I think even if you see the fair play award itself, I think today Finn Allen's dismissal was sham, and the umpire referring Rahane's catch was just putting salt into the injury, because Finn Allen, clearly you had the very honest Digvesh Rathi claiming the catch, clearly touching the boundary cushions. But first of all, I think we should start with KKR's batting. I think where we
Yeah.
actually lost the game was between the overs 10 to 15. 98 for 1 at the end of 10 overs, 115 for 4 at the end of 15 overs. So a passage of play where a quarter of the innings, 5 overs out of 20, where we just managed to score 17 runs against not the very bright bowlers. I think Avesh Khan came in and got 1 over off and just conceded 1 run in between. So 17 runs
Yeah,
off
I guess.
5
Yeah.
overs, losing 3 wickets with great, or I mean, very highly rated middle order batters like Rinku Singh at the crease. 4 of 7 was another brilliant knock. Goes on to show what a brilliant batter he has become once the price tag went up from 50 lakhs to 11 crores. I think he is doing wonders for the team.
Yeah, I mean, very interesting. I think I really felt like KKR maybe misread the pitch, Sanjay Bani. I think obviously power play when the ball was new, it was coming onto the bat. Just felt like after maybe the ninth or the 10th overs, very much slowed down, didn't it? It was like the OG Eden Gardens that you remember. Which brings me obviously to my next question, where whether Cam Green was the right player on these kind of pitches. So maybe KKR management did not really know, because I suppose the curator has also been slightly, yeah. I mean, there's obviously issues with the curator. We don't want to go there. But what I'm trying to say is, maybe Cam Green as a batter has really struggled against spin. Like if you look at his successful IPL seasons, it's been in Mumbai, obviously a pretty good pitch to bat on, where the ball comes on really well, and RCB, which is I mean, the home ground of RCB is probably the graveyard of ballers, especially spinners. So was KKR? I mean, I'll be very frank. When both CSK and KKR were having a bidding war for Cameron Green, I was really thanking my lucky stars that KKR were more desperate.
See, the problem is you couldn't expect what like you don't know what to expect from the pitch, because last year
Correct.
we got in Eden Gardens, the curator made such belters, like it could put maybe PSL to shame. But this year around, I think we can see the surface has dried up. There is some turn for the spinners. The ball was gripping, even though the dew did
Yeah.
set in. But Anukul Roy and Sunil Narayan both got some turn at least, and the
I
ball
think
was
the
there was
team wasn't
uneven
as
bounce in the
big
track as well.
a factor in this match. I really think, like, there was a, obviously we'll come to the second innings, but just talking about Dew, there was a image from the cam that I was watching somewhere around the eighth or ninth over, where the tires were not completely wet. If you look at it, it was somewhat patchy. The wet patches. If Dew really comes in, the the camera really, the wheels on the camera really gets drenched. But I think that also showed when Sunil Narayan came into ball. I think what really LSG did well, obviously we'll discuss at length. What LSG did really well is Narayan probably balled one of the best spells he has in the last 3-4 years, and yet he only took 1 wicket. So maybe they managed him really well. But just talking about the batting at this point in time, let's talk about the positives, right? Ankrish Raghuvanshi has been a really, I mean, has been a revolution really for KKR. He's been carrying you guys on his back. Ajinkya Rahane has been on and off. Kudos to him for today's match. But I think Ankrish Raghuvanshi has been the player for you this season thus far in these 4 matches, when it comes to the bat at least.
Yes, we got a washout. I think Raghuvanshi and Rahane were in the crease at that point as well. He almost got 350s on the trot today. I think he scored 45 of 33. Struggled early on to struggle to understand the pace of the pitch. And also, I think the ball was doing quite a bit in the earlier stages. He came in at number 3 today. I don't mind
Yeah.
Ankush Raghuvanshi batting at number 3, given the fact that you don't have a Rahane opening. So
Hmm.
to take advantage of the power play, you need somebody like a say a Finn Allen, or maybe you can even put in Sunil Narayan. I know lots and lots of KKR fans were vouching for Sunil Narayan to come at the top of the order and open with Finn Allen. But if Finn Allen and Sunil Narayan opens, then you don't have a spot for Ajinkya Rahane in this team, because he's also very good. He's also very good at accelerating during the power play. Maybe the first 4 hours, 4 overs
Correct. Correct.
is where Rahane is at his peak, and then suddenly when the spinners come in, the strike rate takes a dip. It did take today. He did score at a very fast pace, 171, scoring at a strike rate of 171.
In fact, I think
Was a good innings.
he's got the highest strike rate in this match. I mean, I just have to check quickly the strike rate of, yeah, I think if you look at the
Mukul
strike
Chaudhary.
rate of Mukul Chaudhary, he's got 200. So he's got the highest. And I think the second one is obviously Ajinkya Rahane. Obviously, first innings,
Right.
highest strike rate, 171.
Right, he got us off to a great start. So coming back to my point, I think if you have a Sunil Narayan and Finn Allen opening, then I think Rahane will have to make way. I don't see him making way for any other young players in the near future, at least this year. So I think the best case scenario for KKR is maybe you have to get in a Raghuvanshi at number 4. I know he's in great touch. He'll score those runs even after the field restrictions are over as well. He is very good. He has very good hand-eye coordination. Good of the back foot. Plays spin really well. So I think a lot of positives for Ankush Raghuvanshi, and the fact that KKR is really weak in those middle overs. Once again, the 10 to 15 over period, you need a Raghuvanshi to maybe at least rotate the strike so that we don't have 17 runs of 30 deliveries. So that is where I want maybe a Rahane to come in as a pinch hitter at number 3, or maybe you can even try a Cameron Green if you want a right hand combination. If you want a right hand left hand combination,
So that's
if
what I
we
was
lose
going to
a
ask
wicket
actually.
early
I
on,
mean, I'm going to sound very diabolical here, right? I mean, I think a lot of players, I think Kevin Peterson yesterday previewing this match, I think a few other commentators who are obviously much greater players than I am, they really said that Cam Green is not a number 3. And I don't really know about that, right? Because here's what I think about Cam Green. I think Cam Green really struggles at the start of his innings to clear the boundary. Like he can hit boundaries, but he struggles to clear the boundary. Like he can hit fours and fours usually. He usually ends up chipping the ball. And if you really see, he really broke through in the Australian cricket team. When people really started noticing Cam Green, was when Australia decided to make him open the batting along with David Warner against India. And that's where you saw him really come good. Till then, he was batting in number 6, number 7 for BBL in BBL, and he had an average of 10. So how about Ajinkya Rahane comes in number 3, plays the same role that he played for CSK, which obviously led KKR to buy him, and then you have Finn Allen and Cam Green going hammer and tongs to the start. Because it's not like he has bad technique. You just tell him to free up his mind. He doesn't have to really hold the innings together. He can just go whack. And ask Ajinkya Rahane to do the same thing, and maybe Ankush Raghuvanshi, if things really go wrong, can hold one end together. Rinku Singh can do that too, by the way.
no, I think Rinku Singh has run his course. I think he'll do good for other teams once he's sold out. And I have a lot of faith in the KKR management. The kind of whimsical mind that they have. We let go of Shubman Gill. We did let go of say Phil Salt as
I
well at
think
the top of the
Shreyas
order.
Iyer
So
is the
Shreyas
biggest
Iyer, you say,
bottle
like
job of all
we
time.
can start with, I think we can start with Surya Kumar Yadav. We have had players
Yeah,
starting at number 6, number 7 for KKR, and then
yeah.
moving towards the top of the order. Even Shubman Gill, when he started playing for KKR, he was coming in at number 6, number 7. So that has been the trend. So maybe we can talk about this opportunities right from say Surya Kumar
Correct.
Yadav.
But I think
But
recent past, you really would have to say that. I mean, I feel really bad for Shreyas Iyer, right? He got the same treatment at Delhi Capitals when he took Delhi Capitals to the final, and then they replaced him with Rishabh Pant. And then, but what's interesting about KKR was they let go of someone who really really got you guys a victory after 10 years. A whole decade of Sandipani, worrying about KKR, and then Shreyas Iyer came in and won you guys, and now all of a sudden it seems like a radarless ship. Like that doesn't seem like it's a project, Sandipani. If you look at RCB, you can say they've had a project which is now giving them dividends. With Punjab Kings, you can say mega auction they had a project which is obviously giving dividends, probably not. They haven't still broken through with a victory. Some extent, you would say Delhi Capitals looks like they have a project going on with Akshay Patel. KKR really doesn't look like they have one, right? I mean, obviously they got stunted with Mustafizur and Patirana, two of their highest spends, not being able to play this year for various reasons. Again, the right or wrong of which we won't argue. But KKR really doesn't seem like they've had a project. And so does CSK, but we'll talk about CSK the day I am going to be upset.
Yeah, I think we are doing pretty good in terms of the points table. If you compare us with CSK, we still have 1 point on top of you
God
guys.
damn,
And also,
I really hope, at this point in time, Sandipani, I'll be very honest, I really hope every match of CSK rains because at least that way we will get, I think if we play 3 matches, we'll get 11 points. Who knows? Who knows? 11 points might just get us in.
yeah, and coming back to the point, like we were talking about Cameron Green, I have his stuffs up. So
Yeah.
out of the 31 matches that he has played in the IPL, 15 of those matches he has come in to bat at number 3, averaging 38.77, strike rate of 159. So a very good record batting in at number 3 for Cameron
Exactly.
Green. Number 4 was, I think today was a very experimental phase for Cameron Green. I think he has batted only twice at number 4. Uh, Once he got run out, played only 2 balls, was unlucky to get dismissed the way he did with Ankush Raghuvanshi at the crease. I think it was the game against Sunrisers Hyderabad. But after that, he came into bat at number 4 today, scored 38 not out, not ideal given the scenario or the stage that we were batting at. But I think we'll take the 30, 37 or 38 not out that he scored today, and he did manage to get it. I think he scored 32 not out of 24 deliveries today. So he has improved his stats
Yeah.
batting at number 4. Today was the third instance when he came into bat at number 4, and now he averages 72 at a strike rate of 180 batting at number 4. But the sample size is very small, so we can't really judge that. But whatever we have seen according to the stats, maybe the pitch plays a big factor as well. But you don't really know what to expect from Eden Gardens. So I think Cameron Green is not a bad option coming in at number 4 for KKR at this point. But there comes the problem. We don't have batters coming in at number 5, number 6.
Yeah.
If you want a Cameron Green to perform at number 4,
Yeah. So, I mean, the reason I'll tell you why I was so diabolical, right? I only have 4 matches for you. So again, like you mentioned, sample size is small. He played 15 matches at number 3 for Australia, Mumbai, Bangalore, and KKR. Now, added together, right? I'm adding all T20s in India, and if you look at his strike rate is very good when it comes to opening the batting. Number at taking first strike, he has a strike rate of 232. Taking second strike, he has a strike rate of 194, and to be very honest, he has an average of 29 and 32. But my question really is, I think with this KKR team, with Finn Allen, if Cam Green, if they can give you a 232 strike rate or 200 strike rate innings, where they only play 20 deliveries, that is a incredible start for this KKR team, especially with Robin Powell coming lower down the order.
yes, I think that is why the inclusion of Robin Powell is a very important aspect, because right now we don't have a Andrew Russell coming in at number 6 or number 7,
I
and
think for me,
absolutely.
I'm so sorry I'm cutting you off here, but a lot of KKR fans thought Cameron Green is the replacement for Andre Russell. But I really felt Robin Powell is a replacement for Andre Russell, and Cameron Green is a replacement for Venkatesh Iyer. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it actually makes sense. But also, I think Robin Powell, the fact that Robin Powell will not contribute with the ball
But so
is
was
a
Andre Russell,
downside.
right? He wasn't contributing in the last few years because his knees were short.
He did take a lot of wickets. I think if you talk about Andrew Russell's
He did,
stats in the
he
last
absolutely
3
did.
years of the
Like,
IPL, yeah.
I think it's a weird combination, but the reason I say is because both Venkatesh Iyer and Andre Russell, their main job was batting. One was batting lower down the order. The other was forced to bat lower down the order because for some reason you were playing KL Rahul with Venkatesh Iyer for like 2 years, right? But obviously when at his best, Venkatesh Iyer was a top order batter. And I think that's why Cameron Green, obviously he does bring in the bowling side of it. It's a real weird mixture, but I think more than Andre Russell, you're not gonna get a finisher out of Cameron Green. You're gonna get a top order bat probably.
Right, absolutely right. But the way I saw it at the auctions was I felt that maybe a Cameron Green, Rodman Powell, only one out of Cameron Green or Rodman Powell could make it to the starting lineup because before the
I think that
injuries,
is
I think Pathirana was a
correct.
sure starter. So we had
Yeah.
Pathirana, we had Narayan, and we had to pick one between
Cameron Green
this
and Robin Powell,
Cameron
yeah.
Green, Rodman Powell. The price tag suggested Cameron Green, and then we had to pick one between Finn Allen and Tim Seifert, depending on who had the better World Cup. Clearly, Finn Allen had the better World Cup, but I think Tim Seifert was also a very good option. But since KKR went in with this kind of combination, that is why we saw Blessing
I think
Muzarabani coming in straight into
yeah.
the top 11. Because even if you look into the practice matches, Blessing Muzarabani did not have a lot to show for his bowling efforts. He was going for runs. He was not picking up wickets. Eden Garden does not suit him. He has
Correct.
the height, but
I think
he
he would
can be
do
a wicket
much
taking bowler, but
better.
economically.
I think he would do
Yeah,
much better in a ground like Mohali or maybe Chinnaswamy, right? Which is on at a higher
right.
altitude, so he gets better bounce, hits the deck, create issues. But I think with Eden Gardens, I really don't. I mean, I completely agree with you. When it comes to Tim Seifert and Finn Allen, right? I think the issue here is the reason why you can't get that is because then Cam Green has to sit out. He absolutely cannot play in that lineup because then you need Roman Powell because you don't have. Otherwise, Cam Green plays, but Rinku Singh has to play like he used to. Rinku Singh and Ramandeep have to contribute like they used to. I think that has been the big headache. Roman Powell would not fit into this team if Ramandeep and Rinku Singh were playing the way they are expected to, or they are supposed to at least.
Right, and I think today KKR went in with one batter extra. I don't initially if Harshit Rana was fit, you would never see Anukul Roy and Ramandeep both make it to the playing 11. But I think
But I think Navdeep Saini,
we were hard done. Sorry,
Navdeep Saini wouldn't make it definitely to the lineup, right? We'll speak about his
Navdeep
bowling,
Saini
obviously.
wouldn't. Yeah. Navdeep Saini wouldn't make it, but we did not really have a choice. We had to pick. Even Akash Deep
Of course.
was ruled out because of injury as well. So we had to pick between Umran Malik and Navdeep
I
Saini.
think
If
Umran Malik
you
supporter has told us that he'll come in 5 minutes, so he'll try and make a good. Just reminding you, he's a fast bowler when he plays cricket, so he's got his brains and his knees. Just obviously a heads up. But
But
I think that was
if you have to play Umran Malik, if you have to play Umran Malik, then you have to look into the stats
no.
and
My question
not the
really,
stats.
Sandeep,
Just
is how do you play an Umran Malik? Like he's gonna ball your middle overs. You've got Sunil Narayan, you've got Anukul Roy. Then you don't play Anukul Roy. Then your batting is weak. You cannot play Navdeep Saini. Obviously, can still ball the new ball. Umran Malik cannot ball in the power play, cannot ball in the death. He has to ball in the middle overs, which is where your Sunil Narayan, Anukul Roy territory comes. Does he really fit in there?
and right now, I think Kartik Tyagi also he does not at least have the confidence of the management to finish at the depth. So
He's
I
doing
think
much.
Kartik
I
Tyagi is
think
also
he's doing a
coming in.
very good job. I think he's doing such an underrated
He
job.
he is doing he is doing a very good job. He is doing an underrated job. He bowled really well against Mumbai Indians. He bowled well against Sunrisers Hyderabad. He did a decent enough job today. I think Rahane did not like the fact that he was not bowling according to the fields that was set for him,
Yeah,
and that is why
yeah.
he got Cameron Green coming in at
It was a
coming
horrible
in to bowl the
decision.
penultimate
That's
over,
what he mentioned. The game
which
really
was a
ended there
horrible
because
decision because
yeah. Speaking about that, we speak about LSG's bowling, right? We obviously don't want to miss out that because obviously I know you're a KKR fan, but we have to take the emotion out of it for a while. Let's talk about Mohammad Shami, right? Sunrisers Hyderabad must be kicking themselves right now. I know he had a horrible, what do you say, IPL for them, but obviously, like here's my thinking, right? And this is where obviously when CSK match happened, you will see my rant. I will come to that, but my question really is, Sandibani, Mohammad Shami, you let go of him, SRH, because he's not playing well, so you say. But whom did you replace him with, right? And now Mohammad Shami is playing really well. He's been the one piece of puzzle that Bharat Arun really needed in this LSG bowling lineup. So he's gotten in the experience, and now it almost seems like the ballers around him are being able to improve with that. Like Prince Yadav, what a season he's having, and he's having his second season. It's been better than the first one.
Yes, absolutely, and I think Prince Yadav did a great job bowling the last over as well. I think we did manage to hit two boundaries of the last over, but both were fours, and I think last two deliveries we didn't really score much. So great bowling from Prince Yadav, and at the top of the order as well. I think he just bowled one at the top, and then he was brought in to bowl one over in the middle overs, and then Lucknow Super Giants they saved two of his overs during the death. He has a very good Yorker. He did trust his skills and did nail quite a few Yorkers at the death. And then talking about, I think Mohammad Shami, the bowling figures have reversed. I think the numbers have reversed. For
Yeah.
SRH, he was going at 72 runs in four overs. Today, he just went for 27 of his four. So just the two numbers reversed. And I think in the last game as well, he bowled one of the best opening spells, like according to bowling figures in recent times. In times where you have 200 being scored almost every day in the IPL, I think he just considered 7 or 8 runs, picked up 2 wickets, bowling the four overs. So I think Lucknow Super Giants with their mediocre middle. I think if you talk about Lucknow Super Giants team, they don't really have the depth in the middle order with the bat. You have a Mitchell Marsh, you have a Aiden Markram who is not replicating his performances from the World Cup. Then moving down the order, you have a Rishabh Pant. I think Rishabh Pant is very washed up
I
right
mean,
now.
he is definitely
Uh,
reminding everyone why he's not in the T20 World Cup squad or the T20 squad rather.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think Rishabh Pant is past his prime. Talking about the T20 format, I think he's more
I think, I
suited
mean,
towards the
it's very surprising, isn't
test
it,
format right
Sandipani,
now.
that he really has had a very David Warner like history story, right? Like David Warner also was someone who started off as a T20 player. Obviously, he remained a great T20 player, someone who continued to play for Australia for a long time. But Rishabh Pant also started like that. Was a great T20 player when he came into Delhi Capitals. That remember the young Delhi Capitals team with Sanju Samson, Shreyas Iyer, Rishabh Pant, Karun Nair, a full young Indian middle order. And then all of a sudden his test game has gone really high. He's probably arguably one of the greatest test wicket keepers of all time already. Like considering how what he's done. I know a lot of Dhoni fans will kill me, but I'm also a Dhoni fan. Just a reminder. But you have to look at his test numbers and say he's been better than Dhoni as a batter. Right? At least. That's why I say wicket keeper batter. Wicket keeper, maybe it's very difficult to argue. Like probably Sandipani can shed a light on it some other day. But T20 is something he's really not figured out. Like T20 international numbers are horrible. Another wicketkeeper that I just spoke about also has really bad T20 international numbers. Um, and he's not really figured his pace out. Now he was playing middle order for Delhi Capitals. Now for Lucknow, it seems like this year is like last year we didn't even know where he wanted to bat. This year also it seems like he's going like should he bat number three? Should he bat open the batting? I really don't think he should open the batting. You've got two of the best openers in the world in your team with Aiden Markram and Mitch Marsh. So he has to bat number three, but he really doesn't seem to have understood like his role there as well. Should he really start, play an innings, or should he really go berserk? And with this LSG team, you can't go berserk because after 6 wickets, you have Mukul Chaudhary coming into bat. Like bless his soul, but you really don't want to put so much pressure on a youngster this many times, right? Only a certain amount of time.
Right, absolutely. And you had Mohammad Shami walking into bat at number 8. So
Yeah.
LSG does not really have the batting, the middle order
With
batting
the
strength as
impact
well.
player, which is surprising.
Yeah, with the impact there, that is what I'm saying. They are playing five proper bowlers. Bowlers in the sense that you would have Mohammad Shami batting in at number 7 if you had the top 11 playing rule. But because of the impact substitution rule, you could have Ayush Badoni come in at number 4, who did play a really important knock as well. He was going well before he rolled out at long off. But talking about, I think, the batting order and Rishabh Pant's form, I think the right way to go about LSG is, I think LSG are misutilizing Rishabh Pant. They are misutilizing Nicholas Puran for sure. Because I think Nicholas Puran has had great numbers batting in at number 3 for his country, for West Indies, and for Lucknow Super Giants as well. He was going very well for Lucknow Super Giants last year, batting at number 3. They did not need to change it. Rishabh Pant could have come in at number 4. Rishabh Pant should come in at number 4. I think Ayush Badoni is a number 5 batter. So you should,
Hmm.
given the team that they have, given the squad that they have, and now Mukul Chaudhary coming good for them. So I think Mukul Chaudhary will keep his place at number 7. You will have Abdul Samad playing, I don't know what quota he is playing in, probably the Riyan Parag of 2020s, early 2020s. He is playing for that quota. So you
No,
have
I mean,
Abdul Samad coming in at number 6.
I think, I mean,
And
I'll finish it. Yeah.
sure. Yeah, so I was just saying that the right place for the batter should be Nicholas Puran at 3, Rishabh Pant at 4, Aish Badoni at 5, and then followed by Abdul Samad and the lower middle order.
Why don't I play? Well, Siddhant, I wish I could, but you might have think like I'm an off spinner, and considering how many bald off spinners are there, you would think I could be one of the goats. But unfortunately, I'm not that good, right? That's the reason why I don't. That's the reason why we sit at home and comment. And I
Given the
guess
current scenario of KKR bowlers, I think I could have found a place. And I don't even bowl.
I think I can play in CSK though. I mean, I might not get bowling because Rituraj doesn't believe in giving bowlers bowling. He just waits for I don't know what. But I really wish I could get that 14 crore and sit in the bench like Prashant Veer. Feel bad for the
I,
lad though, but obviously
given the
another day,
fact,
another discussion.
yeah, I think both of us could have made it to our IPL teams, but not the guest joining us. Definitely not the guest
Yeah.
joining us. I think he wouldn't have made it to his favorite IPL
Could
team
have,
given the
could have.
way
If he
they
had
are
started
going.
playing maybe 5 years ago, he could have joined. But now he definitely can't. I mean, that team is really, really good team. I mean, we're obviously talking about RCB, but Nicholas Puran, right? You obviously spoke about him, touched on him a little bit. But I just had one question, Sandivani. Now, this is a discussion that Harsha Bogle had with probably one of your pioneers, Joy Bhattacharya, who was associated with KKR for a long time. And they spoke about this recent trend, right? I'll add another name to it, Heinrich Klaassen. Two batters who left last year international cricket, who retired from international cricket, decided to play franchisee all throughout the year. They both have had a dip in form. Like all of a sudden, they're not recognizable anymore. Any franchisee league, SA T20, both of them struggled. I think aside from that, IPL obviously they've struggled. So you really think that playing international cricket now all of a sudden showing value because Quinton de Kock came back after being away from cricket. I think especially for batters, probably Trent Bolt has not changed much. But if you look at the batters, the batting really does affect you, doesn't it? If you don't play international cricket, because probably the level of bowlers that you're facing, maybe that is an issue. As our guest joins us pretty early, just like
Very nice.
RCB, he's the last one to join
Yeah.
the winners club. But I mean, what is your take on the match thus far?
Well, to be very honest with you guys, good to be back. To be very fair, I don't know. I'm just trying to set up my whole stream. Yeah, I think it's been some time because yeah, I mean, good to see you guys back. How many years has it been? 3 years, 2 years,
3 years, yeah.
or
I had a lot more
3 years?
hair
I'm
last
sure
time.
he'll get it set up. I'm sure he'll get it set up within the next 17 years.
Yep.
18th is the charm.
Yep. Yes, the
Can't make
main
those
one.
jokes
We're
anymore
back.
now.
RCB won a trophy as well,
Sadhimani,
you guys.
the tables have turned quite literally.
Man, you're on
But
the
I would
bottom
still
of the
like to
table.
say we have
I can't
Jaren at
hear you.
5, we have me at
Sandipani,
3, and we
Sandipani,
have
Sandipani, wait a minute. I
Abel
can't
at
hear you
1.
from the top. I can't hear you guys from the top. Sorry, guys. Waited
Yeah,
for
it's
the mic to
okay.
say
You
anything,
have
you
this
guys.
But let's
topsy
focus on the
turvy.
match.
But yeah, leave that aside. Good to see you guys. But yeah,
How
yeah, there
how I
were
mean, I just want
some.
to ask you one question before you talk about the match. How did it feel to see Avesh Khan celebrate like he did after requiring one run to win off one ball and taking a bye? Does it bring back any
Hmm.
memories?
Yeah, I mean that's the first thing which came into my head when he was on the non-striker's end for that last ball. Like, is he gonna? He removed his helmet, so I knew that he's gonna not gonna smash his helmet down on the ground. But however,
Yeah,
I just knew that this is gonna be the same thing where a keeper is gonna fumble of some sort because I didn't expect Angrik Chakravanshi to hit the stumps. I reckon, like, a lot of experienced keepers would do, right? Was to remove the gloves. I don't think he did that for the
he didn't.
starters.
He didn't.
He did? Okay.
He didn't. He didn't. He didn't.
Uh, he didn't, right? Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah,
So that's something which I would have liked him to do because this was going to be on the cards. See, the only way they were going to win was he removing the gloves and hitting the stumps.
yeah,
And I knew that he was going to ball short because Anything full, Mukul Chaudhary was feeling it very comfortable. And especially if you look, one of the hardest balls to dispatch when it's the last ball is the short ball. And it's something which we have seen even with a lot of players. Like they go for the short ball, you miss it. Even yesterday, right? The game, which one was Prasidh Krishna balling that into the pitch by a
Correct,
slow
correct. Into the
bouncer.
wicket slow delivery. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So these kind of things do work. And yesterday, what was the difference? Butler hitting the stump. So it was literally the same position, almost the same position. The only difference was that one hit this time, one did not. I feel bad for Sandeep Mane. I really backed KKR to win this one because they had the game. They literally had the game. I think two out of the last three games, maybe barring that Punjab game, which I thought they would have lost badly if not for the rain.
yeah.
Uh, I think they had it in their hands.
I
Especially, I
mean,
think the game which they were chasing 200 odd. Which one was the Sunrisers? I thought that was their game as well. And even this one, they should have
yeah.
won because the pitch was, there was no dew. You can't complain. You
I
didn't
mean,
get a
now
conducive
this is
slow
a very
bowling wicket.
interesting thing, right? Which I want to discuss now. Do you reckon today was the match? Obviously, Varun Chakravarti is apparently injured his finger. We don't know if Ajinkya Rana has something to do with it. But what do you think? Do you think this was the match that Varun Chakravarti Sandipani could have won for KKR? Like, do you think you missed that one more mystery spinner? And great KKR teams have had two informed like mystery spinners.
I think Pathirana would have won this game if he was fit. But
I don't know,
we
buddy.
can't talk
One
about.
run to win a one run to win a one ball, he would ball a wide. I'm telling you from experience.
That is not certain, but 30 meters of 10, I think he would have done a better job. But no,
Obviously,
speaking
yeah.
of Varun's injury, I think it's very unfortunate. And given the bowling strength that this KKR squad has, I think we don't really have any other alternatives for, say, Varun Chakravarti getting injured. You have to go in with Navdeep Saini or Umran Malik. I know we have a fan of Umran Malik with us, but the fact that
He's
Umran
on,
Malik
his
couldn't
camera
even
is on
defend.
and off like Imran Malik bowling, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. Look, Umran Malik's bowling has not been on in the last 2 months, at least, of what I've seen him bowl. Maybe in the nets or in the practice matches as well.
No, I mean,
That is
I think from
what I was coming to.
what I've heard, Sandipani has also lost a little bit of pace since his injury. So I think that's also the
He
reason why
has
he's not
lost.
being preferred by KKR.
He is bowling slower than Kartik Tyagi. He is bowling at around higher 130s, lower 140s. And apart from that as well, I think Umran Malik was going for plenty in the practice in the two practice games.
Correct, he
They
was,
had
he
some
was.
sort of simulation. He was going for 20, 24 runs in the
So
at
from
the
what I
death.
know, Sandipani, they try to also ball him in the death. So I think what KKR had designed was even if you win the match, you're still supposed to play 20 overs. So
Right.
if you're batting first, so the idea was so that the ballers in the other team would get some death over experience. And Umran Malik was smoked left, right, and center from what I know.
Exactly the point, and exactly the reason why Umran Malik did not make it to the playing 11 or maybe 12, 13, 14, because uh, before the season there was a lot of hype uh, as to say maybe Umran Malik was above Kartik Tyagi in the picking order as well. But clearly we can see that
Yeah,
he is below Navdeep Saini in the picking order right now, which
correct,
goes on to show that
correct.
the management has lost a lot of faith in him. And talking about the management, I don't know on whom they are putting the faith in, because today Kartik Tyagi
I
not
think
bowling the 19th or the 20th over,
they really put faith in Venkatesh Iyer to be your
25
next
crores.
captain. But RCB really messed those plans up. And I understand, right? I don't think even anyone would have paid that much money for Venkatesh Iyer except for RCB because they had the luxury to do so because of the kind of players. We'll come to RCB, we'll come to RR as well, Siddhant, because tomorrow is RR versus RCB. Just finish the discussion for this innings. Uh, I think probably what we do have to talk about is still the fact that let's talk about the final 5 overs, right? It looked completely like KKR should have won this, and Abel did touch upon it. What really went wrong? Now, my first question, which I asked Sandibani as well, Abel, I want to see your take on it. Do you really reckon that
Yep.
the penultimate over should have been balled by Vaibhav Arora and the last over should have been balled by Kartik Tyagi?
Good question. I think, to be very honest, they took their best chance. I don't really trust in any of them for the last over.
I
Neither did
mean,
I
would you
trust
trust
Karthik.
Cam Green's Abel who's not balled 10 overs, right? He's not, last over he balled was the seventh
To
over.
be honest, to be very fair with you, I would have gone for a spinner if they had a choice. because
Rinku Singh.
I don't know.
Good ball.
Like I'd be very honest with you, right? Like I've been watching T20 cricket over the last couple of years, and I think the hardest bowler to hit off the fine lower is a spinner. There are a couple of things at play here. One is you can't take those cheeky single like the one which they took in the last ball. Secondly, the
Yeah.
pace is what all these hitters thrive on. The moment you take the
Hmm.
pace of the ball, these guys can't hit it. You'll even miss Q1. I mean, if it's not your day, you can go for maybe 20, 30 runs. I don't blame that. If anyways, you lost the game. But in hindsight, if you ask me, yeah, I would have gone with
Uh,
the same ball. I don't blame Rahane. He was
So
short of
that is why my question
resources.
was able as well with regards to maybe they really missed Varun Chakravarti today because I think
I wouldn't
ideally if they
say
had
I
Varun
would go
Chakravarti, you
for.
could have maybe given Varun Chakravarti the over that Sunil Narayan balled because you were looking for a wicket. You obviously wanted Badoni's wicket. I mean, rather Mukul Chaudhry's wicket and end the game, right? And maybe that's the
Mhm.
reason why Varun Narayan came early and you could have given the penultimate over to Sunil Narayan and that would have worked out according to your plan.
See, that's a good point by you, where you mentioned that if Varun Chakravarti was there, things could have gone differently. And I mean, there is no shying away from the fact that Varun Chakravarti has been a big cog in their wheel when it comes to them doing well over the last couple of years in IPL, especially 2024 season. But if you look at the bowling figures, just from a bowling POV, I personally felt KKR did not have resources. I mean, especially when you're playing an all Indian bowling attack, barring the line, and
Yeah.
most of your pace bowlers are Indian. And I won't count Cam Green in this, to be very honest with you, because I mean he's still not there. What
I still
KKR should have
believe
really
he's been told you can ball maybe 2 overs, not more than that. I think that's the reason why he got a wicket and still did not come on to ball.
maybe I think so. I mean, who are the options which KKR have, right? Um, like I'm just looking at possibility of KKR bringing in one more spinner, um, if not
No,
for,
I think they have another spinner left, right? Do they?
I think they do. That's what I'm just.
Prashant
I
Solanki.
think
He's the one option you have. You've heard his name a
you
lot
have.
across, obviously. I think Prashant Solanki maybe is the go-to. Maybe to give him a shot.
I would still go for Rachin Ravindra. To be honest with you, I would go for Rachin Ravindra
But
just because
the issue even with
he.
Rachin Ravindra, wouldn't it be that you've got a player like Ajinkya Rahane who's also had similar issues like Rahane? You're gonna put
Mhm.
two of them in the same team. That's gonna slow KKR even further.
See, I don't see any way out for KKR other than trying something out of the box here. And the way for them, KKR, I mean, we often spoke about KKR being the strongest spin bowling lineup of this IPL. Way before the IPL started, we all agreed to the fact that KKR possibly are one of the best spin bowling lineups because of Narayan and Chakravarti. That was because after the auction, then the World Cup happened. Chakravarti's form
Yeah,
depleted crazily. I would say Prashant Solanki isn't a bad shout at all, considering one thing. See, Anikul Roy is their best bet right now. I think he's doing a phenomenal job going under the radar time
he
and
is.
time
He is.
again. But I think after I saw him in a Syed Mustakli trophy, and also I don't know when Syed Mustakli trophy it was. I think Prashant Solanki did a good job from Maharashtra. I think he's a good bet. You can take a chance with him. I would drop a Navdeep Saini. I don't, he's going to give same number of runs as Navdeep Saini, even if he has a bad day. And he might just pick up a couple more wickets. So I would go for Prashant Solanki. I don't think KKR should rely on inexperienced Indian pacers who are highly susceptible to leaking runs at that rate. I wouldn't blame on Karthik Tyagi because we three have sat here and asked about Karthik Tyagi for Sunrisers, for GT, and I wouldn't ask him that KR aren't playing Karthik Tyagi. I mean, we've
Dear, I
been
mean, I
like the biggest
suppose,
Karthik
yeah,
Tyagi
it really does
fans
break my
forever.
heart for to see him do well in KKR. We could have easily had him play last year when because we do not have pacers either. But for some reason, like I said, no,
Yeah,
we pay players to not ball. That is our brand.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm just looking at, oh, the fun fact is, we all have, like, couple of us are wearing Argentina right here. And it's
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
that we
yeah.
are here for a cricket live. Yeah, I
I
mean,
think someone did ask us about whether I mean someone did ask me rather why am I
mhm,
wearing football jersey? That's because I don't want to be wearing CSK jersey right now. Maybe at the end of the season after everyone's forgotten that CSK is finishing 10th, maybe then.
mhm. I like
Maybe then.
Sandipani. Like I just saw Sandipani throwing something when KKR lost that match. What was that, Sandipani?
The flag.
The flag. Can you wear it
I
around your
really
neck
think.
so that
By the way, I
it
mean, I
doesn't?
want to ask you this, Sandipani. Since you're obviously a KKR fan, you've also been to Eden Gardens a lot. Do you really think the fans have lost faith in the team? Because there was no one in the. I mean, I've never seen an Eden Gardens crowd this empty. Even when KKR used to be a really bad team at the start of the IPL, you had always had loyal fan base. But it really seemed like half of them were not there today.
Yes, I think this looked very similar to the time when we had Saurav Ganguly kicked out from KKR. Rightly so. He was kicked out to Pune
Yeah.
Warriors India, and we know where the owner is and the team is right now. But
Come on,
talking
we
about
can't
Saurav
come
Ganguly, I
into
think
this live and make such statements. If if a Bengali were to watch it and a true patriot Kolkata guy, he'd
no,
come to
I'm a
our
huge,
match.
Saurav Ganguly fan. I think he has done lots of great for the Indian team as well. And right now, he's the, I
I think
think,
in
the head
PR
of
we call this
CAB.
damage control.
No. I'm not doing any sort of PR. I think he is the head of CAB right now, and I think that is why
CSU.
Bengal
Can I
hasn't
leak
won a Ranji
Sandeep's WhatsApp
Trophy,
chats
a
for
Vijay
sure?
Hazare Trophy, a SMAT. No, I'm saying since Saurav Ganguly is the president of CAB and he has such a strong hold on the Bengal cricket board right now, even though we have players like Mohammad Shami, Shehbaz Ahmed, Akash Deep, Mukesh Kumar, everybody, all the bowlers who are there and thereabouts are playing for Bengal. But we have had great results to show for the efforts, especially because we have such strong management at the top. Saurav Ganguly is really doing a great job. Once he gets kicked out from the president's spot, I think he is going to go right back to where he belongs, London, where he spends 4 or 5 months of his year, and that is a known fact. And we know other players also find it very refreshing to go to another country and just rejuvenate and come back and take a board position straight away.
Well, talking about you know
I mean,
over teams that play five overseas players, they themselves said it. Right? They said it on their social media channel. I did not. I'm not. I'm not saying anything out of the ordinary. I'm just borrowing a joke from Mr. Nags. RCB versus RR tomorrow. I think we've had one RR fan here. I think it's time to give him what he's come to join the live for. I guess RR has really surprised us, haven't they? I think
yes.
obviously we knew that this team
No,
had
I just
potential,
want
but
to add one more thing to Sandeep, just to
yeah.
add, like Sandeep, like me and Jaren are out of the country. I don't think we need to worry. The one who is in the firing line is you. And Bengali mobs are pretty crazy, dude. They might just
No, I
come
think
in
elections are going
numbers.
on. Think people are worried about
Yeah.
something else right now. Sandeep is
Let's
just
hope
sneaking
Something
so
else
in.
because
right now.
Sandeep is gonna vote.
So I can
At least
just
he'll
trash.
come back to the power.
I can just trash on Saurav Ganguly because he also does not know which political party he belongs to. One moment he speaks for this political party, next moment I think he is very loyal to money. Wherever he gets money, he goes over there, and nothing wrong with that. We know other players as well who have been very loyal to money, and we did
Yeah.
see Saurav Ganguly sit apart and just give away the CAB president's position for a while. He went to SA20 to coach the Durban Capitals, and we know
Yeah.
where they finished in that season. So a very capable, a very potent leader. Not at all past
I
his
think
prime. I think
this
he will do
this
wonders.
I
this
mean, there
video is
were
definitely
shouts for
becoming
Saurav Ganguly to be
somewhat.
India's next coach. Like I saw Ravi Ashwin even post up Saurav Ganguly's coaching with DC.
That is if he is not able to strike a deal with any of the political parties, then
Yeah.
definitely we can see Saurav Ganguly as the next Indian
But
coach. But that is a long way off.
let's
Talking about fans, talking about fans not coming at the Eden Gardens to see KKR's game. I think the weather has
okay.
a big
Yeah,
factor
that's
to
what we
play in it.
wanted.
But to be
Yeah.
fair, today the skies were clear, the weather was clear. There was very less humidity as well. Something which is very rare to see in Kolkata. You always have humidity and you always get in a lot of dew. The fact that there was very less humidity today was the reason that we did not see too much of a dew. We could see the tires were getting wet, but there was not an immense amount of dew that we are accustomed to
Correct.
seeing in Eden Gardens. And also, I have to say,
I think it
a
was
lot of
somewhat
fans
of
have lost
a.
faith.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean that's a question I want to know because I mean I've been on Reddit as well, and it just seems like a lot of fans are frustrated with the management. Like what I saw was obviously a lot of Ajinkya Rahane bashing, but aside from that, Venki Mysore was probably what do you say most wanted number two.
Yeah.
And rightly
And
so, rightly so. I had I have publicly, I think on this platform itself, I've asked him to hire me for 3 straight
This is
years
I think
now.
1 year
And
ago. 1 year ago, I think when it was just
yeah,
me and
one
you,
year
I
ago
think you had
or two
already
years
said
ago.
that.
Yeah, and I have offered my services. If they don't take it, I think this is the way to go for KKR. I will be a loyal supporter, but I don't know where the stock will go. If you have spies like Shane
How
Watson and Dwayne Bravo in the mix,
how the
uh,
tables have turned.
I think we could have gotten a
How the
Sanju
tables have
Samson.
turned,
Would have been a
Sandipani.
great.
Last time the three of us were on this platform, it was me and Sandipani who used to be on the happier side of things, and it was always able on the sadder side of things. But the
I'm a
tables
very
have
humble supporter.
absolutely,
I have something called a season
completely
ticket.
reversed.
E साला कप नाम दे.
So let's talk about the happier. Let's talk about the happier side of things, right? RR versus RCB. RR obviously surprised us. We'll talk about a few key players. I think we definitely have to talk about one player we have never covered in our YouTube careers, which is Vaibhav Suryavanshi. And something very interesting about Vaibhav Suryavanshi, two facts. One, that lad has a strike rate of 260 against Jasprit Bumrah.
Mhm.
Secondly, I think most number of sixes that Jasprit Bumrah has been hit in the IPL is AB de Villiers, and he's hit him for 8 sixes. And within the span of 5 deliveries, this absolute freak of a nature, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, has hit him for two already. Like,
Oh no. This is some kind of a comedy show or what?
bro, Sandiman is absolute showing his beautiful, what do you say, influencer style here. Thoda sa time, if you could have timed it better, you could have absolutely, pulled off a great Instagram reel. But it's okay. It's a very
Yeah,
good one.
but yeah, I
I like
think
it.
just to carry a bus Suryavanshi, right? And I think
You're just
that's
missing one
Siddhant
star,
asking.
Sandiman.
Yeah, I bought this last year, hoping that
Yeah,
RCB were going to
Ah,
carry on with this streak.
yeah, but yeah, I think Siddhant was asking, we're talking about RR. I think RR is well poised this season. Just to maybe do something special. I think I messaged Jaren and Sandeepani. I think I was talking to Jaren saying that RR is in my top four, and Jaren did not take it seriously at the time. I don't know why, but yeah, I think
I
the
didn't.
things,
Yeah,
couple of things which RR has done very well is to manage how they are going about. They've given a good set. They have come up with a set plan. The plan A is beautifully set for them, which is attack hard on the power play. When it comes to batting and bowling, I mean, use these resources beautifully. But the best thing which is working for them, I know you mentioned about Vibe of Suryavanshi, but I think the best thing that's working for them is Jofra Archer and Andre Burgers opening spell, because that is really setting the tone for them. If you look at all their games, right? I know the game against Gujarat, it did come out really tight, but that has to do a lot with how that game was panned out. If you look in different aspect, but I think having Andre Burger
yeah,
and Jofra Archer, if you look at the last three games, Chennai Super Kings game, they finished the game off in the power play. The game against Gujarat, they did great inroads even in that game, just with the ball. Both Jofra and Nandrabak, they're setting the tone right there. The last game again against MI, Jofra Archer picking up wickets, even after him getting hit for a six of Ryan Rickleton, right? I mean
yeah.
that's something which I personally feel is been the difference for RR compared to last season. Now talking about your player, which is Vaibhav Suryavanshi, the talk of the town. I think that guy is really a freak of nature. But having said that, I'm just going to make it very clear. I have insider information. Jasprit Bumrah is not 100% fit. So, just Bumrah is, if you look, he was bowling at 130, and he's not hit 140 throughout this IPL, and he's so good that he can still manage with 130s. That's just with Bumrah for you. So he's not 100% fit, and he was just bowling those loopy half volleys. But you still had to dispatch it. I wouldn't really consider that as this big thing. But for me, the difference is Vaibhav Suryavansh's ability to access on the offside. That is massive. I mean, let's all be honest. If he is able to access on the offside as easily as he's able to access on the leg side, and that's a scary trait to have for a 15-year-old, and he's still developing, right? I mean, I'm no questions for his age, to be very honest, because he's too good a player. And I have, like, BC have done age testings as well for a lot of people questioning on Vaibhav Suryavanshi's biological age of sorts. I think he's truly at the age of 15, and he's already shown the world what he's capable of. I still like to believe him and Yashasvi Jaiswal coming into form will hold a big key for them. But however,
Yeah,
the biggest worry for me with RR is going to be I mean, yeah, Ravi Bishnoi did pick up wickets in the last game and the game before that as well. But I think it's again the middle overs. How much can they really do in the middle overs? I know they're front loading and trying to pick up those wickets up front and waiting for things to happen in the middle overs. I think that's going to be Riyan Parag's test as well. I mean, he's done a good job so far. He's shown a lot of maturity on his head. I feel like a couple of games, especially the game against Gujarat, that was a big test for him to hold his nerve and that really showed how good he is as a captain. Right, I don't really judge him by the last game or the game in the first game because those two games were comparatively easy for him to captain, but the game
yeah.
against GT is where you're tested as a captain, and he really showed faith in going for Tushar Deshpande. And I think one thing which is really communicated is also he is very data reliant, which is good to see. I mean, he uses a lot of data. He really plays around with data. I think Jared knows my friend is playing for RR, so I had a couple of conversations for him as well, which is Jash Punja. I wish he play. I don't wish he plays against RCB, but I hope he plays uh, other games. But yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
So I,
so
I had a, I had a conversation with him just asking about how Rian is as a captain, and I just got a lot of positive feedback. And I think from whatever I heard, like from Yash or from the people who I've interacted with, I think a couple of things which really stands out is his dressing room atmosphere. Sangakara is a data reliant coach. And also Sangakkara also brings in a couple of things which is to keep the atmosphere very light. And he's given the freedom to Riyan Parag, and which is very good to see. Last season, which I really felt was Riyan Parag was confused with this role. Like he was not a full time captain. Now he's a full time captain, and that really helps him to be liberated of sorts. I'm not expecting him to go and win the IPL, right? But I'm sure that this is going to be a game changing season for RR. And and I think I don't know what he's talking about. No, if you have any question, you can ask. Absence of Butler, I don't think RR are missing a Butler anymore. To be very honest with you, they're not missing
yeah, they're
Butler. I
not.
think they're
I mean,
very
I'll
well
just
poised.
throw in a very quick stat there. I think what Butler's role was for RR was to open the batting, right? Suryavanshi since 2025 has a strike of 227 in the power play. The next best player is Priyan Charya. So he's got
Yeah,
somewhere around, I think, 180 strike rate. So you've got the best striker of the ball now, and Yashasvi Jaiswal is obviously probably if any other country, if he was born in any other country, he would be a star batter for them at the top of the order. But
I think he'll
unfortunately in
be he'll
India,
be a star batter in the country where Steve Smith is currently playing a league in. So and no more further comments on that. He's mentioned we need a Steve Smith. I don't think you guys need a Steve Smith. Let's be honest. What you guys need is to use Shimron Hetmeyer well. See, there is still a lot of issues with that middle order. Shimron Hetmeyer's entry points are questionable. He's much more comfortable batting in the top three. Dhruv Jurel is doing
yeah,
well, but there are days when he's a limited capability player. But you compare that to a team like RCB. I'm not going to speak as a fan here. I have a lot of humility to talk as an analyst. But RCB's batting in that sense has got a lot more variety when it comes to using different entry points for different players. But that's not the case with RR. You look at Suryavanshi and Vaibhav. But what happens after that? Dhruv Jurel, yes, he can do, but can he strike it 200 and give you maybe a quick 20 ball 50? I doubt. Riyan Parag can, I certify that. Shimron Hetmeyer batting at number 5 is questionable, and they need to use Donovan Ferreira better. They're still not confident about Donovan Ferreira, and his form has been pretty bad of late if you look at the way in which he's batted, even with South Africa, even for RR as well. So these are the middle order is yet to be tested. I think once that is tested, you're going to see how RR is going to progress. Because if you look at all three games, right, I think the only game the middle order was truly tested was the game against MI to a large extent, but not quite even that. So I personally think RR has got certain problems they need to address. One is the middle overs bowling, and one is the middle order batting. So once if that is tested and if they can pass that test, and I think they're well and truly in the top four for me. They will make the top four if things go well. I rate them ahead of Delhi at this point because I know a lot of people are saying that Delhi is a much more better team, but RR look to me as a team which is much more capable in making the top four.
I mean, just talking about this, right, Sandivani, what do you think of RR when it comes to things? We spoke about middle overs, right? Someone who really has probably is their candidate for middle overs is someone like Tushar Deshpande or maybe Brijesh Sharma. I mean, having seen Tushar Deshpande play a while in my team, I really did like the look of Brijesh Sharma, right? And I mean, like some Abel has mentioned, probably it's some data point that we don't know about. But Brijesh Sharma did play against CSK in Guwahati, played really well. Do you really see him come back in the team, or do you reckon they'll stick with Tushar Deshpande now that he's won them that match against GT?
I think the fact that he has more experience, I think they're going to stick with Tushar Deshpande itself because when you talk about the bowling, you have a Sandeep Sharma who
Mind
is
you, they've also got
probably
a bowler like Yudhvir Singh Charak who performed really well for LSG.
right. Yudhvir Singh Charak did perform really well for LSG, but he was also bowling in the middle overs as well. But I think what
Yeah,
Rajasthan Royals need is a death over bowler as well. You have an Anja Burger who can give you 1 or 2 overs, but Sandeep Sharma is in the later stages of his career. He does not have the pace. He relies on his Yorkers, but even if you are bowling Yorkers at 110, 115 kilometers per hour, you can still go for plenty. And Jofra Archer, we all saw that even a team like Nepal, who are on the rise, could take him on and score maybe 20, 25 runs off him if he's bowling in the death overs. So I think Rajasthan Royals, they can rely on their spin. They have a Ravi Bishnoi, they have a Ravindra Jadeja who can maybe give you 5, 6 overs on a good day in the middle overs. If you are talking about pace, I think you can have 1 or 2 overs from Jofra Archer in the middle overs. I think Jofra Archer should complete his 4 overs within the first 12 or 13 overs of the innings. I think after that, he does not have a very good record bowling in the death overs, and you have a Nanja Burger who can give you 2, 3 overs at the end. So for the timing, I think they are okay with the combination that they have. They can use Tushar Deshpande and Ravindra Jadeja as the sixth bowling option. Depending on who has a bad day, they can probably give him 2 or 3 overs, take 2 or 3 overs out of the other bowler. But I think the problem arises for Rajasthan Royals, like Abel mentioned, in their middle order. And Dhruv Jurel, he did score some 70 odd runs in I think it was 2 games back. Got a very good innings out of him batting at number 3. But I still feel like Abel, I also think that Nicholas Pooran, Shimran Hetmeyer, they should bat at number 3. If you're not utilizing
I think
Nicholas
yeah.
Pooran or a Shimran Hetmeyer at number 3, number 4, then you are wasting a lot of his potential. I know he has done a great job for Rajasthan Royals coming in at number 5, number 6. Before that,
He's
I
not
think
the
he was
batter
doing the same
anymore.
job for.
He's
Yeah,
not
he
the
is not
batter
that batter
anymore.
anymore. He is not that batter anymore, and he did prove for West Indies in the T20 World Cup that he can do a job. He can do a good
Mm.
job coming in
Funnily
at
enough,
number 3, number 4 for the side.
I'm so sorry I'm cutting you off. Funnily enough, they put Shimran Atmaya number 3 only because Nicholas Pooran retired. Nicholas Pooran was supposed to be the number 3 player for West Indies this World Cup,
Right.
but Nicholas Pooran retired last year, so they bought in Shimran Atmaya and it's been highly successful. So you're spot on there, both of you. Let's
And
talk about
Hitman
now.
started his career batting at number 3 for West Indies as well. So
He did. He
the
did.
tag
Yeah.
of him being a finisher was, I think, was developed in the IPL itself, where Hitman was going through a
Hmm.
rough patch. He did come good for Delhi Capitals, and then he moved into Rajasthan Royals. He did a great job batting at
Correct.
number 5, number 6. But for the current team, I think Rajasthan Royals need to strengthen their middle order, and to do that,
So
they need to have a Dhruv Jurel come in at number 5.
I don't know. I think Dhruv Jurel really gets stuck at number 5 as well. Like he's better off getting some ball. So I really don't think Shimron Hetmeyer then fits into the team. Probably then you have to give Donovan Ferreira a chance because he can ball a bit as well.
Pereira is playing. They have Pereira at 6. They have Hitmar at 5. But the problem is they don't have better alternatives for the fifth,
Give
sixth, and seventh position.
us Hetmeyer. We really need a wicketkeeper who can finish we really need a wicketkeeper who can finish who has 2 joints left. Doesn't need surgery. I hope no
Yeah, I
CSK fan
agree.
watches this. But just talking about RCB, right? Obviously, now that we have to, I mean, let's talk about RCB. Very interesting stat, right? I'll start with the bowling. Obviously, we covered RCB, and mostly batting has been the talk of town for RCB for years and years. But what this setup, right? Mo Bobat, Dinesh Karthik, and Andy Flower, most importantly, the head coach, what these three guys have done, and these three have become a package now. You can't buy one without buying the other two. It's how it goes now in cricket. They've moved on to London Spirit as well. Um, you've not had Josh Hazelwood, and most teams, including obviously CSK, when you don't have a player like Josh Hazelwood, or when he leaves your squad, you really see a void. But the way Jacob Duffy has been used, maybe even Jacob Duffy did not know he was this good a bowler in the power play, right? And he has been incredible. And this is probably where I think the match will be decided: RCB's ball power play bowling versus Rajasthan's power play batting, because the most powerful aspect of Rajasthan, like I will mention, is the power play batting of Rajasthan. We'll obviously come to the power play bowling of our RR versus the power play batting of RCB, but this has to be it, right? This is the crucial battle in tomorrow's match.
Yep, I think so because I'm hearing that Josh Hazelwood is fit and fine to go. So that's a big, big positive for RCB. Talking about that, number one, you spoke about the package. I was just really wondering which team should I support in the 100. And I couldn't have chosen for a home team than London Spirits. I mean, what a team they are. I mean, totally in with that. I want to back them because they're also a sister franchise to RCB now. And interestingly, they're the home team where they're going to play. They're also owned by Times of India. But coming back to the power play bowling that you mentioned, I think I'm still I know I sound a little weird here, but
I'll just give you a
however,
stat to
but
both
I'll
of
give
you.
yeah,
So
I'll
maybe it
just
might help you
yeah, go
answer
ahead,
this
go ahead.
question. So Bhuvneshwar Kumar has bowled 85 balls to Riyan Parag, Yashasvi Jaiswal, and Dhruv Jurel, and he's never dismissed them, and he's conceded 161 runs, which is somewhere around 200 strike rate, right?
Hmm.
Just to throw that out there, which is obviously Yashasvi Jaiswal is a key component in this battle.
Yeah, I mean that's a very good stat actually because I think last year as well the game they played in Chinnaswamy, Yashasvi Jaiswal really got going, even Vaibhav Suryavanshi. But that was Josh Hazelwood who turned the game around with his extra bounce. And if you look at Yashasvi Jaiswal, even in that Australia series and there and thereabouts, only one bowler's really troubled him a lot. That's been Josh Hazelwood with that extra bounce. He tries to get to cut him and he gets high on him and he gets it edged. Similarly, Josh Hazelwood can also trouble Vaibhav Suryavanshi because of that extra bounce. Because Vaibhav Suryavanshi likes to throw his whole of his body. If the ball gets up on him, it could be a top pitch which can go up. But again, Guwahati is a very small ground like Chinnaswamy, so even top edges can travel quite a bit. Having said that, I personally think, as I was saying, I know it sounds a little weird, but if RCB are bowling second, right, I think RCB should not exercise the four foreigners first up on the batting order. They should exercise just three and hold Romario Shepherd only in case that needs be, which means it gives them an option to play both Duffy and Hazelwood. I'm not against Abhinandan. I think he's a prospect which is still developing, and I think Abhinandan has got a long way to go. I think he will still develop. But if you really want someone to really go out there and be completely attacking, aggressive in their approach, I think this is an option they can exercise. But that's only if they're bowling second. But if they're bowling first, obviously you need to go in with your set 11, and which is okay, which is totally fine. But having said that, I think RCB's biggest challenge is again going to be how they stop a vibe of Suryavanshi and Yashasvi Jaiswal. They were successful in the last year's IPL. In the first game, Yash Dayal came and bowled beautifully. You all know that Yashasvi Jaiswal has got certain issues against left arm pace, and he's struggled quite a bit over the last couple of years. I don't know why it is. I can't pinpoint and tell you this data point is reoccurring again and again, but off a back of length from 8 meters length onwards, the ball which is pitched slightly short, which when he gets too close to cut, especially if a left arm seamer, he tries to edge it to the keeper. Or when the ball is angling into his pad, it more often than not his head falls off the off stump and he gets LBW. Now RCB do not have left arm seamer right here, and that's why maybe in a ground like Guwahati, you can try Mangesh Yadav, and let's just see how he goes. Right, instead of Abhinandan Singh, I know
I
it's
mean, fun
totally
fact that you mentioned about George Hazelwood Evil, just a stat that I found. Yashasvi actually been dismissed thrice. I'll find the average and let you know. But his strike rate against Hazelwood in IPL is 253.
yeah, okay. I think he was dismissed as well, right, couple of times.
Three thrice. I have to find the
thrice.
average. Maybe that'll give us a better idea. But he's been dismissed thrice.
Yeah, he's been dismissed twice. Even last year, he did hit Hazelwood for a couple of boundaries, but he did struggle as well. So, and even the test matches, he looked pretty off against Hazelwood, especially. So, I think Hazelwood versus Yashasvi will be
Jaiswal
the
has scored
matchup.
81 runs of 32 deliveries, striking at 253, averaging
Wow, that's
27.
pretty
He
impressive.
has been dismissed thrice. Yeah.
He's been dismissed twice.
I
So,
think I would really chalk it up to a win for RR. I mean for RCB rather. Like with Yashasvi, like if this is the same performance that maybe a whatever Suryavanshi gives, right,
he's
when he gives
basically
30 runs and scores
scoring.
at 250.
Let's just say he's faced 32 balls, right? So, basically, he's getting out in every 12 balls.
Correct. So
And
that's my
then
point, right? If Vaibhav Suryavanshi is scoring 30 for me in 12 balls, I would consider that a victory as an RR in the RR camp. But if Yashasvi does that for me, I would actually consider that as a slight, or maybe not slight, but a big wicket. Like you would want Yashasvi to score
absolutely.
big runs. That's what he's in the team for.
Exactly. I think that's where I personally think if RCB can get into the middle order of RR, they'd have a good chance. But having said that, I think it's going to be RCB's biggest test of the season. I know last year RCB won all their games away quite comfortably, but this time around it's not going to be that easy to win games away from home. Teams are better prepared, and also for RR, right? And this is their last game they're playing in Guwahati.
Correct.
They've struggled away, which is in Jaipur. Guwahati still has been their favouring hunting ground because the ground's small, it helps the batting. In Savai Mansingh Stadium, where the wickets are longer, the ground is bigger, their batting doesn't really come into party. So for RR as well, the real fortunes would really depend on how they perform in Savai Mansingh Stadium for their four games. But having said that, also I think RR's um, batting right was RCB's bowling. I think someone like I would really put in someone like a Krunal Pandya. I know he'd really enjoy bowling against RR's middle order. I know there has got one left-hander there and top two. I'm just talking about 3, 4, 5, 6. They've got one left-hander there, and I think Krunal Pandya and Suyesh Sharma is going to hold the key there for RCB, similar to what Bishnoi and Jadeja is going to do. But on current form, I would put Krunal and Suyesh slightly ahead.
And I think
No,
Suarez did a spectacular job against CSK. I think considered some 20, 21 runs, picked up a wicket as well. 4 overs. Another
yeah.
player I think that KKR would be
Jadeja also did a
very pleased.
phenomenal job. I remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But
Yeah,
I also feel if you are not wearing helmet, Vaibhav Suryavanshi should definitely wear a helmet if he's facing Krunal Pandya because 100,
Correct.
105 kilometers per hour bouncers are not going to be easy. And you wouldn't want a 15-year-old
Not even
to get
Jitesh Sharma
injured
is
in
safe
that way.
when Krunal Pandya is playing.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, more so for Jitesh Sharma. I
I
think Jitesh Sharma
mean,
should step back a little. I think at least 2 feet
I
from the stump.
I really think he might have like separate gloves for Krunal Pandya with extra padding, considering he has to take those balls. But yeah,
I really
he's
give
definitely.
credit to Krunal Pandya for innovating that, to be honest, to be fair to you. It's so hard to bowl a bouncer as a pacer, even running
I think
20
that
yards.
there's an
Like for
Afghanistani
him to
bowler. I
come
mean,
up with
it's an
that
Afghanistani
is
bowler or
just
Pakistani bowler,
phenomenal.
I believe, who started the trend. He played in BBL for
Yeah, Kais
Mumbai
Ahmed.
Hurricanes.
Kais
Yeah,
Ahmed.
Kai
Kais
Ahmed,
Ahmed, right? Even Shahid
correct. He's the
Afridi
one who
do well
started it.
against
I
him.
remember. I think it was Andhra Russell not wearing a helmet, and at that time, not being a KKR fan, I was like slightly miss.
No, I think Krunal Pandya bowls a better bouncer than Hardik Pandya. I read it somewhere. I think I heard it from one of you guys, but
I
I
think
totally
both
agree
you
with the
said.
fact. Ha, yeah, Hardik
I
Pandya's
think both the
bouncer.
brothers bowl quite a good bouncer. But having said that, I think one thing I have to give to Krunal Pandya is his innovation. This season, batters we're going to find him out quite easy because it's quite simple, right? He's got that quicker darting one. But for him to come up with a bouncer against left, I think he uses that ball more so against left-handers than right-handers. And there is this
Correct.
rule, right? Unsaid rule: a left-arm spinner cannot bowl to a left-hander. ICC rule etched somewhere, but a lot of captains, idiotic captains, do believe in it and call it a matchup. It is a negative matchup, I agree, but then I don't call it an ICC rule. They don't even show a left arm spinner against a left hand bat. But so Krunal Pandya, for him to
It's
innovate
almost
that
become,
and
yeah,
come
you're
through
right.
is
It's almost become like
fantastic.
an unwritten rule. Like even some of the greatest, like I think even off spinners for that matter, right? Like, moment right-hander is there, you don't want to put an off spinner out there. I think
If Sachin
it's not
Tendulkar
really
was there,
fair, right?
Muralidharan were playing in this era, Muralidharan would have never bowled to Sachin. I'm telling you.
Would have definitely not gotten 800 wickets for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Uh, yeah,
I think if Murli was playing in this era, I think he would have had to pick a different profession because we all know where Sachitra Sinanayaka is right
I
now, where Suraj
about
Randev is
that
right
topic,
now.
Yeah, trust me. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I so agree with
I
Sandeep on this. I
as
call
the
him
only
an outright
representative of
chucker.
the as the only representative of the
Yeah, I've had this
spinners
debates on
union
call with
or
Jaren
whatever,
and everybody. He doesn't seem to agree
right?
it.
There
He
was
says,
there
Yeah,
was
because
one
we all
app.
know
There was
Muralidharan played. I think Muralidharan played for two very great franchises in the IPL, and we have two supporters from the teams RCB and
only
"This
one
is
of
one
CSK.
thing
them.
I'm
One
gonna
Great,
of
tell
them
great
you."
era.
likes him because
But
I think only
I
one
would
of them
still
likes him because he
respect
only performed for
Muralidharan's
one team.
800 wickets. Though he picked up most of the wickets in goal, I'm not gonna go into the intricacies of those wickets and how he picked it up. But however, what I
All I'm
mean to
saying
say,
is
the
there is a
question over
video
here
of
was,
Muralidharan wearing a steel brace and still bowling. Okay, that's all
I
I'm
don't know
gonna
if those
say.
videos are.
When it comes to
I don't
fast
even.
bowlers, certain gentlemen will be like hyperflexion and whatever not. But for spinners, it is chucking only, which is super unfair. Super
See,
unfair.
if you look over the history, spinners have been caught the most with chucking. Let it
Yeah,
be.
because we have to bend
I
our
even
arm.
feel
We have to bend our arm more than
what is
fast
that
Okay,
bowlers. We're
guy's
just coming
name?
and throwing it.
even do you see a Nuwan Thusara getting a match tomorrow?
Nuwan Tushar is not even there in India.
He's not
He
even
has a
there in
Yeah,
India.
case. He has
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah. He's
case
not
which he
been
has to
allowed by
appear for
Sri Lanka to
today.
come to India.
I think he appeared for a
He is
Oh
district
wow.
court in Colombo today
If I'm
for a
not wrong, Nuwan
case.
Tosera is playing a different game. He's playing
What,
the court game.
what about Yash Dayal then? What about Yash Dayal?
What about Yash Dayal? Apparently, he was the
We got
dad of
quite a
Dhoni, is
few
what they
players
used
who
to
are
call
appearing
it.
in the court. And me being a lawyer, it really does help me. I should have signed these guys.
No wonder
But
why
I
Abel
think
supports RCB and I support CSK. We both lawyers, so I guess where there's trouble is where we support which team we support.
But having said
And
that, I
Sandipani
personally
supports
think
KKR because they don't rely on data.
no, no,
yeah.
I support RCB with zero stars.
My word.
RCB with zero stars was my favorite team.
Okay. So I think we should talk about the game a little bit. I think we just went a little away.
No,
I
no, yeah.
personally
Coming
think
back to the game, I did not understand how Abhinandan Singh got like the go ahead of say a Rashik Dar. I think Rashik Dar did a great job last season. Not in pitches
Sandeep,
which were flat.
I know why Abhinandan Singh got a nod ahead. If you look at the practice games which RCB played, Abhinandan Singh was one bowler who rushed the batters, including Virat Kohli. He was able to hit the hard length and he got Virat Kohli out twice. And with Rashid Dar, if you look at the domestic season, he was awful. He went for plenty of runs. He moved his state. He's moved to Baroda recently to play with Krunal Pandya and Jitesh. I think there also he went for a lot of runs. His economy was somewhere around 15 inside Mustaqil Trophy, and uh, and Abhinandan Singh was out of the box. Even I didn't expect him to come through. I was expecting Mangesh Yadav. If you look at all their auction strategy videos, they're very clear on having Mangesh Yadav. Mangesh Yadav is a fantastic bowler. I've seen him in a couple of videos. He has got the ball to move in and
Right.
out. He balls 140 Ks. He bats as well. So everybody was looking at Mangesh Yadav. So Abhinandan Singh was an out of the box candidate even for me. But having said that, the recent form, right, like the 1 or 2 months form, that is what edged Abhinandan Singh ahead. The first couple of matches, I mean, first match especially, I was not impressed, and I won't really judge him based on that because see, you're playing your first match in Chinnaswamy and Ishan Kishan in the form of his life. He just took him on. But having said that, I personally felt in the second game there were indications that what he could really bring in to the fore. He's got the hard length. He can maybe come quicker to the bat. The ball which he bowled to Shivam Dubey, I mean Shivam Dubey struggles against short ball either ways. But if you look at the form, right, Shivam Dubey is slightly. I'll give Shivam Dubey that 50% more chance to take on Abhinandan Singh, and he rushed Shivam Dubey quite a bit. And the ball which he got him out as well, that came pretty quick. So Abhinandan Singh is quicker off the surface than in the air, which is kind of weird. He's of a short stature as well, similar to Mangesh Yadav. And Mangesh Yadav did not get the nod ahead because, Abhinandan Singh is of a tall stature, and Mangesh Yadav is of a short
And
stature.
I
And
think
Mangesh Yadav did
also
not get
Rushing Kohli in the practice sessions will give him a big edge. It's like
100%.
if Umran Malik would
If
have
you
gotten
look,
maybe Finn
if you
Allen
look,
or a Team Seifert
right,
out in the practice matches, getting a foreign player out is, or rushing a foreign player is a great attribute to have.
I think also, Sandeep, you would like this. Abhinandan Singh was supposed to be in KKR's radar. He was with the KKR team in 2024
Yeah, he was
during that
bowling
IPL bowling season.
next.
Uh, the reason was very simple. He was tall, hit the deck. Now, if you look in T20 cricket, coaches prefer a certain kind of tall, hit the deck bowler over a short stature bowler because they feel it's easier to get under a short stature bowler and dispatch him away. And which is the fact. I mean, let's not run away from it. Cricket has become such that your height matters now. It was not the case maybe 10 years before. If you have height, then you get that slight bit of advantage, and that's the only reason why Mangesh Yadav is not getting the nod ahead
No, I think it's
because he's slightly
the likes of people like Sandivani who has killed the dreams of short, fast bowlers. They've obviously found data points because if you see, a lot of teams are now investing in tall, fast bowlers. Like short, fast bowlers are not really rising up the levels anymore.
I agree. I agree. I mean, this is something which has happened over the last couple of years. And RCB, when they had to do a complete revamp, if you remember that season where they won seven in a row of sorts and qualified, right? When they did not win the IPL, but it was 2024 when KKR won the IPL. If you look at that season as well, the picks
Yeah, I
they
won't
had
forget
a plan.
2024 2018.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to remember too. So if you look at the picks they had an Alzari Joseph, Lockie Ferguson. They went for the tall ballers, but it did not work for them. So what they had to do was to bring a certain kind of tall hit the deck fast bowling, which was Josh Hazelwood, and along with that a variety in Bowie. And even Yashdale is pretty tall. I think he's around 6, and he's got the variety as well. So that is what they wanted, and hence they all, except maybe Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, even Yashdale can hit the deck hard, even with, and Josh Hazelwood does as well. So they want a certain kind of baller, and this is very good, right? They're not looking for names, they're looking for type. And that's what a lot of successful franchises have done over the years. CSK never went in the auction, or Mumbai never went in the auction picking names. They always went in looking for a certain role profile. And that is what a lot of these teams who are successful have done successfully. And I think that's what RCB are doing right now.
Once upon a time. Yeah, absolutely. I think we are pretty much done with all the things that we had to discuss. I think we'll be back in the. I think I will be back. And hopefully Sandipani and Neeraj will be back tomorrow.
I
I'll
think I
be
won't be there
traveling
as
back
well.
to the.
I'm traveling. I'm traveling somewhere, so I think when Jaren is traveling to India,
So I suppose
and
tomorrow Abel gets to go scot free if RR wins, and I mean, or Sandipani can handle the live himself. We definitely see how tomorrow
yeah,
works out tomorrow. But thank you so much, guys, for joining
No,
yeah,
us.
this was
And
fun.
if
Yeah,
RR wins, I'm
hopefully, I
coming.
think tomorrow.
If RR wins, I'm coming alone.
wow. I guess wearing the RCB shirt and he's got the audacity to say that. But however,
That's because he already said it. No, he doesn't like RCB winning. He likes zero star RCB. So he's technically supporting that team. So now he doesn't
I'm
have to support
sorry,
this team
man. Your
because they
time
have
is
one
really
star.
bad. You know what's funny? Like the last couple of
It's
years, and
not.
we did
I'll tell you
this.
one thing. I think Sandipani
I
bought
think we
that
took a
jersey and RCB
sabbatical. Is
won.
that what we call it? We call it the sabbatical. I mean, we all were focused on our own careers.
Yeah.
Unlike someone asked us what we do, right? So I'll just answer a couple of quick comments here before we end. So he asked which country we come from. So I'm in Spain right now, and Jaren is in Singapore, and Sandeepani is traveling to US
Close to
coming
Bangladesh.
week.
I'm close to Bangladesh right now.
Yeah, he's close to Bangladesh, traveling to US the next week, and
You were getting US. Why did you have to?
yeah, I mean, he's traveling to US the next week, right? I'm not sure he's gonna have a word with Trump. Uh, but yeah, next question, Sandeepani, do you
If
have a
KKR
girlfriend?
loses another game, I might.
The question is, Sandeepani, do you have a girlfriend? And
Bro might
if
go
you
to
have,
LA.
if yes, where is she now?
Uh, the way I react to a
I can
loss
tell you one
from
thing,
KKR,
Shinwari.
I don't think I can handle a
Sandipani is
girlfriend.
definitely not. I can just tell you one thing, Shinwari. Sandipani is not interested in you. That I can guarantee.
Yeah.
Rest, it's up to Sandipani.
So full time sitting at home. I don't think so. That's what we said, right? We are focused on
I
our
think he's
career
talking about
now. When
himself,
we are
probably.
slightly better in our career, we got back to what we like doing on the sides. So yeah, guys. I mean, this is a fun activity we do late night when we are bored. This is not the main stage. I mean, someone was sitting too live watching. It doesn't really bother us. If you are here spending
No,
time,
this is my
thank
career,
you.
guys. This is serious for me. I won the money from the YouTuber as well. Yeah.
Sanjiban is very straightforward. See, the money from YouTube, we will be helping to sponsor kids to have better education. So that's the
In
goal behind
He
Bangladesh.
this
will be
organization.
basically
In
he will be
Bangladesh.
basically he'll basically start an academy for fast bowlers to join KKR.
Yeah.
And
So
looking at the
we're gonna
state of
endorse.
KKR bowling, I think within 1 year he'll be able to supply them fast bowlers.
Yeah, so that's one of the things we're gonna help set up a cricket academy in Europe, so we can scout talent for our franchises. So that's the whole point of this live streams. We
I don't
collect
know.
money,
See, Abel,
scout.
I'm a CSK fan. It doesn't matter who I scout; they are not gonna pick him.
CSK is a
Maybe
very
if he can
simple
hit a
plan.
45-year-old.
Ball around the wicket and get hit. TSK, JSK, CSK. Very simple. And there's only one man making these plans. That is Stephen Fleming. He need to go. I can sit here and talk about coaches. Sandipani wouldn't like it. So
No,
uh,
no, I would love it. I would love it. I just want CSK to let go of Stephen Fleming and get Abhishek Nair and Dwayne
I think
Bravo.
CSK should get Gautam Gambhir.
That
Oh
will probably get
damn!
them their sixth and seventh title.
I
I
think
think
on that day, what might happen is I might become a KKR fan and Sandipani might become a CSK fan.
No, no, I have been very loyal to KKR even when the great Saurav Ganguly was holding the reins, and we saw what John Buchanan
I
and
mean, technically,
Saurav Ganguly did
you
the
know
first
us
three
about
years.
LSG when Gautam Gambhir went to LSG, so it makes sense. But
No, no, no.
I'm
there's a very
very
interesting
glad. I
stat,
think
right? John
I think
Buchanan
Dinesh Karthik should
was.
definitely think of being head coach at this point in time. Just talking about coaches, I
I
think
mean,
Dinesh
if you look
Karthik
at all the
deserves head coach
successful
position.
KKR coaches, they've been the most successful ICC trophy winning coaches. John Buchanan and also Gautam Gambhir.
Gautam Gambhir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at the sound when he said Gautam Gambhir. That's what I wanted to hear.
Okay, are we doing the live tomorrow? Or
And I'm
I will be
okay,
traveling,
unavailable,
so
so
I won't be available either. I think I'll be back on
okay, we'll
looking
Sunday.
we'll be
football
back
match
soon.
to catch
So
that.
it's better to say we'll be back soon, and 91 is always greater than 97.
Oh wow.
Sure.
Thank you guys. Good night.